To have everybody back here on the Schmodown Entertainment Network. Last night it was the Schmoes Know Network. If you got to the reunion show, saw myself, Ken Knapsack, Christian Rubalcaba, Josh McCouga, RB3, Riley, Ellis, the whole damn crew was there. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Somebody that wasn't there. He was invited, though. He was invited, and that is the one and only Brett Sheridan.
There's just so much Harloff I can handle in one day.
I don't blame you.
No, I wanted to get.
You're not the only person.
I totally forgot about it. I was grocery shopping.
Oh.
I had we'd actually completely run out, and I had to run out at this point. It was like we were down to like one hard-boiled egg and
fiddles.
Yeah,
fiddles. How great! How great!
I know what fiddle faddle is. If
fiddle foodle, fiddle faddle foodle. Oh. Did you love that song?
Oh yeah,
it was David B. David B. wrote me, and he said,
"That's perfect."
He said, "I wrote you an auction song." I said,
and
let me hear
if we
it.
do another like deliverance type thing,
that's good. But that's going to be the auction song because I love that character that's just up there like just miserable with his life, and he just knows that he shouldn't be saying things, but it just like kind of like just spits out because he just has had enough. We had such a great time yesterday doing the underrated list. And, there's a lot of ones that we just kind of not left out, but we said we were going to get to today. But then we said, why don't we just do the whole damn thing again? Because you guys have so many suggestions. There's so many suggestions of what you're doing and what you're, how many that you thought of and things that we didn't talk about. And we wanted to get somebody that, because, Brett's learning. Brett's got a lot of good movie takes, and what he did yesterday, he wrote down a whole bunch of these movies, and he's like, "Oh no, this is good for me because I'm learning more about it." But I also wanted to get an expert in here, so I couldn't find any. So I reached out and I asked my good friend, where is he? There he is. John Roque is in the house. What's up, John?
Hello, everyone, you slimy son of a bitch. What's going on? Let's talk about these underrated movies. Let's do it. I got some fiddle faddle for you, Brett. That's for sure.
You know fiddle faddle. Come on.
I love fiddle. You can look at my weight. Of course I know fiddle faddle. I love fiddle faddle.
I'm a fiddle faddle over a Cracker Jack. That's fiddle faddle all the way for me.
That's a 7-Eleven purchase every time, fiddle faddle.
I'm sure that all the youngsters out there are now really thinking we're old as hell because
fiddle faddle's like Cracker Jacks, right?
Yeah, but it's better. It's got it's got a more nut to popcorn ratio and a little bit more coating.
So John, we yesterday we were talking underrated movies, and the fans had put in so many great suggestions that we're like, oh, let's just keep talking about it. I'm sure you have some and ones that we haven't really maybe even discussed. So
sure.
People screaming in here. Outlaw Nation. That's right.
Very kind. Thank you, man.
We already got 107 likes, everybody.
Whoa.
There you go. Senor Film starts off and says, I think Apocalypto is very underrated. I agree. I think Apocalypto is very underrated. I think Apocalypto is very similar to what we were talking about yesterday. Is the understanding, and I always preface this, I always understand if people have their grievances, and they should, with Mel Gibson after, kind of deplorable things that he's done in the past, but I think it's impossible to say, the same way you would say about, different circumstances, but controversy still. Roman Polanski, right? Still a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
Did some despicable shit, but but good filmmaker. Same thing with Gibson. He's and it's different circumstances altogether. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But
who hasn't gotten drunk and said the wrong thing? It happens. It just is not stupid enough to leave it on a voicemail. That's the problem.
Well, he did a lot more than that. He did a lot more than that. But besides, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about right now is the movie itself, and Apocalypto is brilliant. It's a brilliant film. And it's awesome. It's really, really good. That Passion of the Christ, not Passion of the Christ. That's Scorsese, isn't it? Scorsese
that's him.
That's Temptation of Christ. Passion of the Christ. Yeah. Braveheart, obviously. The
Man Without a Face is good too.
Yeah, and then the one the Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah.
But Apocalypto to me is absolutely an underrated film because I don't think enough people have seen it. Also because of the subtitles thing too. Yeah. All right, let's get right into this and there's some news out there. I guess there's some news that we can talk about. It's nothing too big, but you seen this news, John? There's jack shit going on in the world of movie news right now.
Yeah, of course.
It really is. I guess
Mornings with the Outlaw is struggling. Let me tell you, it's struggling in the mornings. Yeah.
Well, Netflix or Apple, they say, are going to get Scorsese's Moon.
Oh yeah.
So that's you would probably, if you're a betting man, you're probably going to say that Netflix has got the best shot because everything they did with Irishman.
Right.
Seinfeld Netflix special is coming out May 5th. what else is really out there, man?
There's the Tiger King. Did you see this? A Tiger King special with Joel McHale is going to be hosting it, the after show.
Oh, yeah.
It's on April 12th.
What is that? What is the after show? What is it?
So he's going to be interviewing a lot of the people that were involved in Tiger King, except for Carol Baskin, and because it looks like they didn't want to be a part of it.
No,
but
Carol Baskin did not like that she was portrayed. Shocking to no one.
No.
Wow, that's
I love
odd.
the meme I saw last night. My girlfriend showed me is Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes going, Carol Baskin's husband tasted great.
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought that was brilliant.
And then you got Jeff Lowe, who doesn't give a shit. That guy is like, it was my favorite interview out of the whole entire thing is when they were like, did you set him up? It's like, well, what's a setup? He's like, did I call the cops and I didn't want him part of the actual thing anymore, so I kind of ratted him out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a setup, I guess. Like the pure definition of a setup, and he's just like, he doesn't give a shit. Like that guy is like pure, I'm a criminal. I'm cool, come get me, fuckers.
Do I use baby tigers to bang women? Yeah.
Yeah, I bring him into hotel rooms. You know that thing about Hangover? That's all me. He doesn't care. That guy, he's the only one. He's right out there. He's right out there. And then I said that you got Francis from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh, God.
He's in there too. The red hair.
Yeah.
It is a crew and a half. I got to tell you. So
how could there be so much money in this, and they all look like they dress from Ross, dress for less? Like, it's mind blowing to me. They're making thousands and thousands of money, and here they are, dollars rather. And here they are, like with those ripped jeans from 1996.
Starring Robert
hold on,
Redford.
get somebody coming
He
in.
maybe speaks 5 words the whole movie, and it's just him lost at sea. It is a masterclass in nonverbal acting. Have you seen it?
You know what?
Any thoughts?
I've never seen
By
it.
the way, Schlong.
Thank you, BS. For those who don't know, the Schmobot is on. So if you want to interrupt the show and you want to put in one of your movies, a lot of people were doing that
I know
yesterday.
we are
There we
talking
go.
about
Some more.
underrated movies, but here are my guilty movie pleasures: are Godzilla 1998, You Got Served, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Alien v Predator, Batman and Robin, Van Helsing, The Happening, Vampire in Brooklyn, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Well, we'll get to the guilty movie pleasures probably sometime next week for sure. But But John, the lost was All Is Lost.
All Is Lost.
Yeah,
that was a good movie. Robert Redford. It was fantastic.
And it was like his. It was like his Castaway, right?
Basically, yeah, because he's on the boat the whole time. Like the guy said, the Schmobot said, only 5 words, but you like immediately. There's not much presented. He gets on that boat, and then you just follow this man's exploits on the boat, trying to survive against this situation that's happening to him. And it's paced really well, and it's just incredible work by Robert Redford, a man of age at making that film. You know?
I always wanted to see that movie. I just never had a chance to see it. Also, it's pretty depressing too, right?
It is. It can be. Yeah. There are definitely some depressing moments throughout, but also the fact it just shows you that will to live what you're willing to do as well at the same time. So it's uplifting and depressing at the same time.
You got the Walking Dead comics back there?
Yeah. I interviewed Greg Nicotero a couple of days ago for the Deep Cut. So we sat down for an hour to talk about Creepshow, because it's coming out on DVD next month in Blu-ray. So I just popped out my Walking Dead stuff to put up there for him to
let me
enjoy.
know that stuff. That's a lot easier to get you featured now these days.
I love Walking Dead stuff.
Yeah, man. We should. We got to talk more off air about that. I didn't realize it. Are you still watching the show?
Yeah, he talked me into going back to the show. So I will binge and catch up on the show, because he's like, you have to understand, like, once we got rid of Rick, people didn't know what was going to happen, and we found a way through the whisperers to kind of bring the essence back to the show and make it even better. So I'm like, all right, I will go back and jump back into it, because I guess the finale is this weekend of this particular season.
I know personal bias, and like I said, I haven't watched it in a little bit, but personal bias aside, I've actually heard that it's really has gotten really good, and so I mean, with Kuga and Roxy were talking about it, and I've seen the fans talking about how good it's getting too. So that'd be something we should talk about that offline, obviously.
I'm down.
Yeah. All right. So the great suggestions coming in here, guys. So keep those coming. Keep those coming. So yeah, even Haskell, our boy Haskell says Walking Dead, the last 2 seasons have just been awesome, and people are saying it's awesome right now. So I love to hear it. I love hearing that. Of course, all right. And there was a lot of that we missed yesterday, but keep the donations coming in. Streamlabs.com/the Schmodown and Super Chat, whatever you're able to do. And the Schmobot, by the way, if you want to see something from the great Matt Link, all those guys, like he's been clipping out
Just everything.
He's clipping out everything we do, and they come from the Schmoebots. Like the
Yeah.
Schmoebots have been giving the suggestions. So if there's songs, if there's anything that you want, there's characters. You got Irish Roca in here, and all that. So we're at hey, here we go. We're starting right away, Brett. Before we get into it, ready?
There's a movie I came across on Netflix was The Saint with Val Kilmer.
Saint's
You
great.
know what? That's a pretty underrated spy
Yes, it
thriller
is.
that's solid and fun. Also co-starring with Elizabeth Shue. Check it out, everybody.
I've seen it.
Happy Easter to everyone.
I've seen it many times, actually. I saw it in the
Yeah.
theater twice at Florida State when that came out, and I saw it. I went with friends, and then I took a date to see it because I liked it so much. It's really good. Elizabeth Shue is in a lot. Elizabeth Shue is always amazing, and it's an underrated Val Kilmer role.
Yeah. She's an underrated actress.
She is.
Like she shows up in so many great films and so many fun, good, enjoyable films, nostalgic films, and people don't give her the credit she deserves. She was great in The Boys, the Amazon series that just happened. She was fantastic in that. And I love the Saint for all the characters he does. And it's so early in the morning, you want to go get a coffee.
He's so
He's
good
so
in
good.
it. He really is really good in it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for this couple. There was great Schmobot there. See, Schmobot is dictating the
Doing
conversation.
good.
We love it. So, but I'm going back to exactly what I said I was going to do. We're at 2:08, and I don't like it. So, all right, Brett, we got something going on here today.
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
2:09. We're trying to get 250 before we stop this bit, and we're not gonna stop until we get 250 there, Brett.
Come on,
250. That's right, 250. One time I was skating down a park and I just ran over a squirrel and the squirrel got pissed off and bit off my left toe. All right, so now we're going to get
You in the back. Can I get 253? 253, go.
Well, we lost 15. We lost 15 likes there. We lost 15 likes. It was at 230 and now it's down to 214, 217. Now we're about 217. Trying to get back up. We're going to be here all day, folks. 269. That was a large jump, almost as large as the cock the man that was banging my wife had. All right, 273. Yeah, we're going to try to get the 300, everybody. 283. Somebody just moved. That's right. Somebody just moved and ate a cow in the back. One time I ate a cow and I shit my pants right afterwards. All right, so 292.
I was there, I was right. Beautiful.
301, we made it. I think we were just trying to get to 250. Made it to 300.
Got a Hunsky.
308. It's keep going up. I love
Dang.
it. All right, cool.
That's
That was
awesome.
quick. Thank you. Please make it stop. Please hit the like button. I love it. All right. Perfect. Someone told me, I told somebody who was doing that. They're like, that's brilliant. They're like, if I'm watching that show, I want that to stop
I
immediately.
got an
Me too.
idea for your little end bits.
Yeah.
We do kind of like a John Mulaney thing where I write your thing you have to say.
I love it. Like it's like Sven. We're
I
not
don't know,
Sven.
what was it?
Who was it?
Stefan.
Stefan. Yeah. I like that.
You have a little list and I pop it up.
See how many times I can do it without. You actually, can you write me a bunch?
Yeah.
Why don't you write me a bunch now? Go ahead. Here's a pen. And that didn't even get close to. That'd be
I've
fun.
got my own sanitized pen.
I really like
paper.
that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get. So yesterday, you guys sent in so many of these, and we're like 2 pages in. So and I love it.
Wow.
Absolutely love it. We stopped yesterday. We stopped with Black Hawk Down, so we'll get to S. Marcy, who said, I feel like in the past 5 years, Clue has finally been talked about more and more and appreciated for the longest time, and it seems swept under a rug. John, I forget, do you dislike Clue or you like Clue?
I do not like Clue. It is not my kind of humor. It's
Right.
not. I just don't get it.
People like it, though. People definitely
Yeah.
dig it. And they talked about the remake that was supposed to come out, and that's not happening now. So I think for those people, it's the same thing. Those people who have seen it, it's definitely not underrated, but I think that maybe if you're a huge fan of it, you think more people, it should spread out more, then I could see where the rationale would say that it's underrated. Sugar Gum.
Yeah.
Hello, Sugar Gum. My underrated movies are What About Bob? Welcome to the Dollhouse, Buffalo 66, even though the director is batshit crazy, and Arlington Road. Tim Robbins and Jeff Bridges are so good. You got any that out of that list, John, that stand out?
Oh, Buffalo 66 is fantastic. I
Never
remember
seen
going
it.
to see that. Christina Ricci and Vince Gallo. Vincent Gallo, I think his name is. Yeah, he is absolutely batshit crazy. But that film is damn good. And Christina Ricci was never more attractive as an actress in that film, both because of talent and her looks in that film. But Gallo is it's one of those restrained performances.
Yeah.
You're like, I get why people are willing to deal with his nuttiness because you get this kind of
Well,
performance
he's
out
the
of
same
it.
one that did Brown
Get it
Bunny.
Oh yeah, well that's a whole other conversation.
That was the end of it.
Hello.
Yeah, all right. So we get now to David Wilson. Couple underrated movies from my end: Hot Rod, Warcraft, Predators, Last Action Hero, and American Animals. Controversial, but Predators is my favorite of that series. Wow. And the Last Action Hero is the best Arnie movie in my opinion. I'll tell you something about Last Action Hero. I remember seeing that movie in the theater, and I really disliked it. And
Yeah.
I really did not like it when I saw it because it's very similar to the way I felt about like True Lies, even though True Lies, when I initially saw True Lies, there was a lot of like comedy combined inside of it. And I was like, this isn't the kick-ass Arnold Commando that I'm used to. But then I realized there was a lot of action, and it was an action comedy, and I wound up really liking Last Action Hero. Excuse me, True Lies. Now, Last Action Hero is a straight up comedy, and it really is. There's some moments in it that are action, but it's comedy. And the more I saw it, the more I really enjoyed it. And Danny started to annoy me a little bit, but the character. But my favorite line of Arnold maybe ever is when he's there for Louis Lafart's or whatever the guy's name is. And he looks up, he goes, "Look, an elephant," and he runs away. It's so stupid. But I do get a kick out of that movie. Do you like that movie, John?
No, it's not one of my favorites, but I might need to do what you did. I might need to revisit it because I saw it same thing. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but a lot of people actually in our community enjoy the hell out of that movie. So it may be worth a revisit or a watch along to see if it's any damn good.
It's if when you go in knowing exactly what it is now, and I think it might actually been ahead of its time, to be honest.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because and Arnold was trying to still get out of that thing to where you don't buy him as a comedy, and I think at Twins he could pulled it off, but Junior did not work.
No,
and people and I think that it's funny. It's a generational thing, unless maybe I don't know, maybe it's not, but I think it's a generational thing that I didn't like Jingle All the Way. Mm-hmm. How are you with that?
Nah,
no,
not my thing.
But younger kids who grew up with it love it, and I understand that.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just thinking. I've seen all of the. I can't quote all of them or whatever, but I realized that like he was such a big film star that I would watch anything that he did, and that's something to say that I don't think a lot of people today there's something that you will just every single thing
that was how I was,
no matter what it is. But if he went from action to comedy, you know.
Well, I remember being so bummed. The only time because when I was a kid. And I would see movies, especially I was the same with like my daughter. When she watches movies, very rarely you're going to say like, "Oh, that one was stinky. I didn't like that one because this, and that." Kid, you love movies. You just love to watch movies no matter what. I remember being disappointed when I saw Red Dawn.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Red Dawn was I with him and Belushi.
Wolverines?
No, not Red Dawn.
Red Heat.
Not Red Dawn. I knew that came. I knew that came out wrong because Red Dawn's one of my favorite movies of all time.
How about smack you across the face?
You should smack me across the face. Stupid. My friend John.
You're un-American.
Yeah, my friend John back in Florida just woke up out of a cold sweat and said, "What did you say?" No, not Red Dawn. Red Dawn. I love. It's one of my favorite movies.
Red Heat.
Red Heat with Jim Belushi. That movie. Yeah. So that's the one that it was like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
I think we're all happy he moved out of the B list into the A list movies. I'm happy about that.
You want to get into this conversation? I had this whole conversation. Clark Wolf actually defended your stance a little bit.
Thank you.
But
God forbid. That's the world's ending if Clark Wolf's defending my stance on anything.
It was true. S. Marcy. Oh, we did that one already. Sorry. Okay, this is I love yummy waffles. Good for you. Great underrated movie is End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal. You know what I want to find? I want to find that movie. There's a song, and I've never been able. I've only seen the movie once, and maybe people can tell me out there what it is because I really want to know. Tweet it at me if you know. There's a song that Anna Kendrick and Jake Gyllenhaal are like singing. It's a hip hop song.
Oh yeah,
and they're singing in the car. And I always remember liking that song, and for the life of me, I can't find out what the hell it is. Can somebody tweet me what the hell the song is? Because I really want to know. I've been wanting to listen to that song for years, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Did you like that movie, John?
I love that movie. David Ayer, that's right before he did, the other films that he did, like Suicide Squad afterwards. This is what was giving you the idea of what David Ayer could do. And it's a brutal telling of what the situation is for these street cops in South Central LA and in LA going into these areas. I think East LA as well, like going into these areas and experiencing the things they experience. And it isn't a happy ending. And I love that. I love the gutsiness of it. And Pena and Gyllenhaal have great chemistry. They
really do. Izzy19 put in a Schmobot yesterday that we got to. Mark, the fan carpet. It's not necessarily underrated, but it is talked about so much. Justice League is terrible. I don't think Cadet Kelly gets a fair deal because it's a Disney Channel original movie. I don't know what Cadet Kelly is. Anybody know what that is?
Cadet Kelly, no.
I don't know what that is. How's my head? It's better. I had some pretty bad migraines, but they went away finally. And I think I still have Advil here somewhere. Do I? I hope so.
I saw some the other
Did
day.
you? I don't know where I put it. Good stuff. Joseph Raya, who put in a Schmobot. Better Call Maul. Oh, no. Hey, Ring. Joseph Raya yesterday. Hey, Christian, thanks for the idea. Can you have Nick Nolte and Gary Busey having a conversation about something?
Oh.
All right, let's see.
Do a 2-camera setup on this?
It's going to be hard to do this. I don't know. Let's see. I'll start with this. Here, it's going to be interesting. Well,
I one time saw a moon land next to me, but it wasn't necessarily a moon. It was a piece of cheese with a pine cone in it. That doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, what we just did, Gary Busey and Nolte.
Nolte and Busey in a movie would have been great.
How were they never in a movie? Those two.
You're right.
I mean, can you imagine the insurance would go up tremendously?
They're like one crazy blonde dude per movie. We can't have two of them. No
so
way.
Good. They're two of my favorite crazy blonde dudes.
Yeah.
I told you my favorite Gary Busey story ever, and I've told this story on the air, and I'll tell it again. It was I was driving. I don't know where it was. I want to tell you it was Venice, but I was driving somewhere. And I'm stopped at a light, and this car is coming flying through past the red light, absolutely red light, just people beeping, honking, screaming. You just hear a yell, and here's Gary Busey with he's got a shirt on it wrapped around his head, and he's I don't know if he had sunglasses on or whatever he did, but he comes flying through, and my instinct kicked in, and I looked at him, I go, "You're the fucking best," and he looks at me and he goes. All the way through. It was one of my favorite moments ever. I had to. He was so good. He's just such a character, man.
Thank you. I remember that day vividly. It was the last time I was on the planet Septad. That's what we call it in my planet.
Thank you. Better Call Maul. The 3 films that Tarantino wrote, but he didn't direct himself, I believe are underrated. You got True Romance, Natural Born Killers, and From Dusk Till Dawn. They're not talked about as his other 9 films. Which director would you most like to see direct a Tarantino screenplay? Who's the one that did the hotel, not the one with, that movie that just came out recently, Jeff Bridges and what's her fucking name? It just came out too long ago about the hotel. What the hell is that movie that just came out? Scott, not Derrickson that did it. Fuck, you know what I'm talking about, John?
A hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jeff Bridges.
I need a little bit more.
Drew Goddard. Was it Drew Goddard that did it?
Oh, what, the casino hotel, the El Royale?
Yes. Bad Times at the El Royale. So, like, I'd like to see Goddard try to do it because I mean, he tried to do he basically tried to do that with his movie. So I think he'd be good. I always say Matthew Vaughn. I think Matthew Vaughn would be interesting. What do you got for that one?
I think Fede Alvarez would be interesting
That's
as well.
a good one,
I like
too. That's a
Fede.
good
Fede
call.
is a good action director and good horror director. So to see him try to do some stuff with Tarantino would be fun. Because Tarantino's never done a horror film. So it might be interesting for him to write one and have Fede direct it.
Yeah, or switch it around and see maybe and not even do a horror film and see what Fede can do with something like a Tarantino.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because Natural Born Killers, by the way, I'm actually a really big fan of that film. But that is not. You can tell True Romance is a Tarantino film. You can tell. I mean, it's a Tarantino film. Natural Born Killers is an Oliver Stone film. It basically there were some ideas of what Tarantino had inside it. I think Tarantino's even said as much that's not the movie he wrote. But I liked this it's a crazy fucking movie, and it's actually it's a statement. It's a statement of how we idolize these, the Mansons and all these people in the world. Or I shouldn't say idolize as much as it's you put them out there and you give them
glorify them.
You glorify them. Sorry, that's more the word I was looking for. But you glorify them, and that's basically what he did inside of this movie. And it's a crazy fucking movie. Did you like that movie, John?
I did. I like Natural Born Killers, and it gets better with age as we become more obsessed with things like Tiger King and Mind Hunters and all these like true crime serial podcasts. Like the more we're obsessed with these murders and killers and serial killers, the more that film speaks volumes. I mean, we have a reality TV president. Like it's all connected overall to what he was saying about Natural Born Killers. So I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, me too. And it's a great song by Leonard Cohen in there that nobody talks about. It's a good start of the movie in general. It's a great that when you hear the stories about that movie too, about things that happened on the set. I mean, Tom Sizemore, obviously, we found out all the demons that guy had, but the shit that was going on that movie, it's nuts.
Some mushrooms and stuff.
A lot more than that. Mushrooms. I would say a lot more than mushrooms. All right, moving on.
No, that's what I had this morning.
That's what you had, yeah.
Gary Busey walks on the set and he's like, "Oh no, that's not for me." It's trouble.
That's problems. Yeah. So we're going back over to Latino Heat 2049. Hey, my guy, my underrated film is also my favorite. It's The Butterfly Effect from 2004. To me, it's Ashton Kutcher's best. Amy Smart and Eric Stoltz are great. The score is amazing, and the story is beautiful. I fucking dig it. I like a lot of the ideas. I think there was a lot of cool stuff. Did you ever see the alternative ending?
Yeah.
Yeah, he dies.
Yeah, he dies. Way back when I was doing DVD testing, that was one of those films we had to watch, and I actually enjoyed the living hell out of that film. And the idea of it like shaking and you go right into another timeline and all this idea. It was like Groundhog Day in like way more serious,
dark
approach, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, and the alternate ending is great too.
Yeah, it made sense with the alternate ending for sure. I have to go back and watch that movie again. But yeah, I remember watching that quite often back in the day. My old roommate loved that movie and we watched it a lot. All right, Tommy Oliver. I love it. Hey, Tommy! My underrated movie is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from '95. It always brings back the nostalgia, and Ivan Ooze is the best movie villain ever. Now, that's like I was way past. I was not watching at that time. It's a different generation, but I did like that movie that came out. The one with Naomi Scott and Dacre Montgomery. I didn't mind it. Did you like it? No, you didn't like it.
You mean the one, most recent one?
Yeah.
The most recent one is watchable.
Yeah,
that one from '95, I do not like, or wherever it's from. But this one, the most recent one was okay because, like you just said about Butterfly Effect, I like the ideas behind the movie. The execution was 100% great, but I like the approach. Yeah. So I was a fan of that.
All right, let's see. Let's go back on over here. We're going to start with Debbie Schechter. So sorry. Who put in Wind River, underrated. Taylor Sheridan's directorial debut. Really great performances by Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. We talked about that briefly yesterday, for sure. I love that movie. I think it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I absolutely recommend it. Arcadio also wanted to shout out my favorite movie, It's a Wonderful Life. I saw it for the first time when I was 17, and it completely changed the way I live my life. I rewatch it every year and still become a crying mess at the end. Roka, what was Jimmy Stewart like?
He was pretty cool. A bit of a dick sometimes. I'll be honest with you. As soon as this movie came out, he blew up his head. Big. It was it makes sense. Yeah, it's a little difficult to do it.
Well, he was younger than you, and it was kind of.
Man, that's right. That's right. I know.
You didn't like a younger guy yelling at you like that.
Respect your elders, Stewart. All right, guys, we're going through the list here. Any movies that you want us to talk about that we haven't covered yet, please go on over to streamlabs.com/theschmodown. The Schmobot is on, so if you want to go on over there and leave anything you want to interrupt the show, you can do that. Make sure that you do that, and we will talk about whatever movie it is that you want to talk about. All right, also, to let everybody know, which is pretty cool, actually, Brett and Kate are going to be live today on the SEN Patreon. You got to go to SEN Live Patreon. It's for $10 patrons and over. What we're doing is we are going to have both Kate and Bate. They're going to be developing their show, but with you guys. So they're going to have a weekly show that will be starting in probably like a month or two, whenever the world gets a little bit normal, if that's ever going to happen. But you know what I'm saying. And the idea was let's develop a show with the fans. Let's get something going with the fans. So if you guys go on over today, both Brett and Kate will be discussing with one another. They'll be talking. Are you guys pretty excited, Brett?
Oh, yeah. Excited, nervous, like not sure, what people are going to, how to react to really bad suggestions.
It's the French Mountie of Schmoes of the North. I researched the thing and found it had subliminal messages of HIV pandemic and changed my view of the movie. Is there a movie that you see differently now knowing something new about it?
It's a great question. Question. And check out the French Mountie of Schmoes of the North, because he's got a really good show that I enjoy. He's very passionate about the Schmoedown, and I always like that. But he's John, the question on the table is, there is a movie that you watched the first time. I would say Interstellar is probably a movie for me that I watched and then went back, looked at some other things about it, appreciated it a little more, things that I didn't understand maybe the first time around. How about you?
Oh, that's a tough question, man.
Yeah.
For me, it's always been about the extension of a film that's changed it for me. Like Watchmen, the director's cut is way better than Watchmen, the original cut. And so when you find out what his intentions really were with that movie, and then when you see his actual cut of it, you go, oh, this is a better movie overall, and it's a better way to appreciate it for sure. Overall.
I've never seen that. What's this Spider-Man 2 or Superman 2 cut?
Oh, the Richard Donner cut.
Yeah. So I don't know about the cuts thing. The cut thing's a new thing to me.
So here's what happened, Richard. Here's what happened with Richard Donner. So Richard Donner was hired to do, and remember, this is before the way the comic book movie is today, right? So Richard Donner, he's really the godfather of the superhero movie, because this is way before Tim Burton did Batman. This is 77 or 78. 78 is when the first one came out. But he basically shot both movies, which was unheard of at the time, both number 1 and number 2. He was going to shoot 2 movies back to back, and he did. He shot a lot of it, but the producers didn't like what he was doing. They didn't like it at all, so they basically fired him after. And the first movie was a massive hit. They got rid of him, and he didn't finish up all the stuff that he had cut. I think he got credit for the second one directing it, but they butchered. Not butchered, I shouldn't say that, because I do like the other cut, but they changed up and they did a lot of different things. But if you go and you see what he actually did, his entire cut and all the stuff that he shot, they have like a Donner
I'll have to
cut.
check that
You have
out.
to check it out. I remember really liking it. John, do you have a preference on which one?
I grew up with the other one, so it was hard to let go of that, because I like that one just fine. But this one is the Donner cut is enjoyable because once again, it's the director's actual full vision, so it's fun to enjoy that one. But it's as an alternate movie in my mind.
Yep. Okay. So let us get to the next thing on the table, which you guys have. Again, there's so many great suggestions here, so many awesome things. We have Arcadio, who just put in that Wonderful Life thing. Thank you again. JPT Plays put in a Schmobot. Haskell 420 says, hey, gang, possible topic discussion, best director's cut and extended editions.
There you go.
Since most of them do improve and add on to the movie, character development, stories, The Martian, Aliens, Daredevil, Once Upon a Time in America. The only thing with that is, though, I think it's a great suggestion. The only thing is that's a lot of research, because you'd have to go back. I don't remember a lot of them. Could you, John, pull from like memory a lot of these director cuts?
There's what? Geez. Well, not from memory, I guess. Let me look real quick to some good ones, and throw them in there.
Yeah. All right.
Because they're. Yeah.
Think about it, and then we'll come back to it. But we have JPT Plays with a Schmobot. Apple Butter. Underrated 90s movie for me is Demolition Man, The Last Boy Scout, Great White Hype, Blank Man, True Lies, Last Action Hero, and The Page Master. How about The Beastmaster? Nobody talks about The Beastmaster.
Oh, yeah, Beastmaster.
I'm surprised they haven't remade The Beastmaster.
Mark Singer.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a dark movie, man.
Yeah, it was.
There's some crazy shit going on in that movie. I like that movie. James Earl Jones, no, that's Conan. That's Conan.
Yeah, Conan is James Earl Jones.
That's right.
Why hasn't anybody brought up Kroll yet?
I'm sure. Kroll's another one. Yeah, Kroll's another one. What was it?
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love Kroll.
But any of those movies, Demolition Man, I think Demolition Man, people talk about that one a lot.
Yeah. The 3 seashells and shit. Especially now with people losing toilet paper.
Yeah. It's very true.
So Apocalypse Now had a director's cut.
Yes, it did.
Recently, Blade Runner had a new director's cut. There's like 5 cuts of Blade Runner.
Right.
Wow. So those are the ones as well.
Apple Butter, thank you. Nazwan Sabli put in a Schmobot. This just in, I'm launching a new episode of my podcast, This Just In, and the guest on this episode is the hilarious Rachel Silverstream. Check it out on Spotify. Should be up in the next hour. Get to know Rachel better and have a good time. Thank you, This Just In. Prince That Wasn't Promised, who put in a Schmobot, thank you. Back to This Just In. In the new episode, Rachel and I talk about the love of the must-underrated raunchy comedy Out Cold. There were so many quotable moments. Such a funny movie. Introduced me to Zach Galifianakis. Which one is that?
Out Cold.
Out Cold. I don't remember that movie.
I don't remember loving it.
Do you remember that one, John?
Do not remember that movie at all.
No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm not sure. Haskell 420, an underrated movie that not many have seen is John Woo's Red Cliff, which is a historical drama based on the legendary tale of the Three Kingdoms China War. It's based on a true story, and many consider it to be Woo's masterpiece. The U.S. version is 2 hours. The international cut is 4 hours, and it's on Prime. Man. That's
4 hours.
I could see you diving into that though, Outlaw.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now that I know about it, I'm gonna go and find it. I mean, if I can sit through 3.5 hours of Irishman, I can sit through 4 hours of Woo.
Did you not like The Irishman?
I did, but I don't
long.
find myself revisiting it like I do his other films. You know?
I'm with you on that. Jim Mason, hey, Raring. A real underrated movie to me is 2004 Spartan, written and directed by David Mamet, starring Val Kilmer and Derek Luke. Great conspiracy thriller with a host of great character actors, including Ed O'Neill and William H. Macy. I don't think I've ever seen Spartan. Did you see that one?
It's so fucking good. It's
really?
The best. To me, in my opinion, it is the best Val Kilmer-led film ever made.
Wow.
He is so fucking good in the film. Kristen Bell plays the president's daughter who's been kidnapped by this faction, and they're trying to essentially launch a coup on the United States, and he has to go and find out through his own tactics how to get this kid. And it's Mamet's dialogue, which is rapid fire, cutting off right into moments.
Really
it's
good, huh?
Well done film. Tense all the way to the end. There's betrayals and treason, all the stuff that goes on, and he is stellar in the movie.
Val Kilmer's one of my favorites, man. Back in the day when he was like, at his prime, I loved Val Kilmer, man. I like to.
He's so cool in this movie too, man.
I gotta see that movie.
I've seen Real Genius 100 times.
He's so good. In it. He's so good.
No
in it.
kidding.
He really is. Okay, so now we get to Haskell 420 again. Wow. Corona has fucked stuff up so much. I just had a knock on my door. It was a delivery company that my pain management doctor sent and just dropped off a pee cup for my monthly piss test for workers' comp. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. Peeing for meds. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Well, I have a bit of information for you, Ed. Out Cold was a hilarious roller coaster laugh fest.
Yeah.
Said the Arizona Star.
The Arizona Star.
That's right. Big Mo movie review put in a Schmobot yesterday. Michael Rhett Dingus. Click is very underrated. I didn't really love Click.
Click?
Yeah, I didn't really love Click.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I don't know if I'd put it if there's underrated. Mandalore Outlaw may not be that underrated, but one of my favorite movies of the past few years was Wind River. It doesn't get the love it deserved. I think it's definitely underrated.
I'm going to have to watch this Wind River. That's come up a lot.
You would love that movie. Yeah,
so good.
Wind River's great.
All of these are on my IMDb searches now. Every time you say one, then
you
I'm
should.
like,
Wind River is a really good movie.
I think it's on Netflix too.
Yeah, Lord of the Rare. Look, this is the best name I've seen so far. Lord of the Raw Rings. That is fucking great. That is great. Lord of the... Oh, so good. That's my favorite name so far. One of the most underrated movies of the last few years is Captain Fantastic. It's a good movie. Great movie that no one ever talks about. Viggo Mortensen even got a Best Actor nom for it. That's a good call. I think that is an underrated performance. I think that it's... And people always ask, they'll go like, well, how is it underrated if he got nominated? Because it's a question is, are people still talking about it? Yeah. Was it underrated at the time? Not by critics, not by people who were watching it, but it certainly hasn't. When was the last time you heard somebody bring up Captain Fantastic?
Yeah.
You know who loved Captain Fantastic? Schnepp. Schnepp loved that movie.
Yeah?
Yeah. Remember, Schnepp was the one who told me about that movie. And I dug that. I dug it. I dug that movie a lot. So, yeah. Did you see it? Did you like that movie, John?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought for what it was presenting, it was a really good film. It was well written, but you always knew it was one of these smaller, quiet, independent films that not a lot of people are going to watch in mass. So the critics would love it. And I think he either was nominated or there was consideration to be nominated for Best Actor for that movie.
He was nominated. He was nominated. Peggy B. Ball. Movies I find to be underrated are Defending Your Life, Beautiful Girls, Life is a House, The Imitation Game, This Is Where I Leave You, Rockstar, and Going the Distance. My favorite rom-com of all time is a little-known flick from 1989 called Shag with Phoebe Cates. Never seen that one.
Yeah.
Dude, Defending Your Life.
Which one is that?
That's Albert Brooks.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
Meryl
right.
Streep.
Yes.
Meryl
Rip
Streep.
Torn.
Yeah.
No, that one.
Love that one.
Love
Underrated?
it. I think it would. I think it would stand up. I think I haven't been there in a while, but
yeah.
I watched that a ton of times.
I saw it last year. It totally holds up, Sheridan. It's still as funny and sweet and
Just-
good and accessible
That's
as
cool.
any of the Albert Brooks stuff has ever been. It's so good.
You know, a movie that no one ever talks about that I used to love it as a kid. I don't know if it's. I've seen the movie so many times. I remember it being good. Do you ever see Where the Day Takes You, John?
No, what is that?
Where the Day Takes You. Listen to this cast: Will Smith, Balthazar Getty, Dermot Mulroney. I think it's not Laura. Who else? Can you?
That's what I'm trying.
Yeah, bring out the
long
cast.
title.
Alyssa Milano.
Wow.
It's about runaways, right? It's about these runaways. I think it's in Los Angeles, and I think and Dylan Mulroney's character is called King. And I remember
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin's in it.
Wow.
Will Smith.
Yep. Give me the cast.
Oh, James LaGrosse.
Yep.
James LaGrosse.
Ricky Lake.
Yeah.
Ricky Lake is in it. That's right. She's
Laura
good
Flynn
in it.
Boyle.
That's who I was thinking of, Laura Flynn Boyle. So it's that's
Kyle MacLachlan. Jesus.
the cast. Who directed that film?
Let's see here. That was Mark Rocco.
Who's that?
I don't know. Let's look him up.
That was my station.
That was you. Anyway, I really liked that movie. I don't know if anybody even knows what the hell it is, but it's
He did Dream a Little Dream, so
It's a good one,
I'm
too.
down. Oh,
Dream a
now
Little
that's an underrated one.
Dream a Little Dream.
Oh God, that was
That's just because of her.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you remember when she came into Luna Park that night?
Oh no, I didn't.
You weren't there that
no,
night? Oh yeah.
No. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my beast.
She married to Patton Oswalt.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
And she was the Natty Gay.
Natty Gann.
Gann.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. She was great. Great movie. Good call, Dream a Little Dream. And that stupid dance that Corey Feldman does.
Oh
So
man.
good.
Oh, but I don't know. I don't think people would like it now.
No, it's
But-
it's straight up 80s. Yeah.
It's like yeah.
yeah. It's good. Yeah.
You just
Brett
brought back some old.
jerking off in his socks. Yeah, I'm sure.
Can't Buy Me Love. That's another one. It's in that vein.
that's a
It's-
great movie.
It's that kind of.
They remade that movie. They should have never remade that
No,
movie.
don't.
Nick Cannon was in
Nick
that
Cannon,
remake. Yeah.
No, thank you. The Dutch Stoner. Freddie Got Fingered is underrated. I use that as one of the worst movies. I always use that as one of the it's the thing with the daddy. Can you have some sausages? And when he's pulling out of the parking lot and he screams "fuck you" at the lady. There's a couple moments out there that are funny, but the movie itself is pretty hard to watch. Big Mo put in a Schmoebot also yesterday. Big B underrated. Dope, agreed. The Big Short, agreed. 99 Homes. Hayden C. and Michael Shannon were great. Chef, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Logan Lucky. P.S. Will Netflix films get a wheel slice? That's always been. It's such a tricky thing because there's a billion Netflix films. It'd be impossible. Roka, can you imagine if I said, "All right, everything in Netflix is on the table now"? You'd lose your mind. Your head would explode.
It was nice playing with everybody. Thank you so much for retiring.
Yeah,
there's no effing way.
There's just too many movies.
Fundamentals of
Yeah.
Caring, was that a Netflix one? That's one that I have on my underrated.
Oh.
That's the one with Paul Rudd.
Is that
He goes on a trip with a
kid?
with
Yeah,
a kid.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
Jesus, you want to talk about just a bawling your eyes out kind of a thing.
okay.
But that was a good list. What were the first? Yeah.
There are a bunch of good ones on there for sure. But let's get back and over to The Big Short. I really enjoyed a lot. Chef I've seen a ton of times. I like
Amazing.
Chef.
Chef's a blast, man.
Chef's really good. It's a good movie. It also showed again because Favreau had been doing everything directing style that shows the guy's got serious chops as an actor too. Mm-hmm. He's really likable.
Yeah.
The Dutch Stoner. Thank you so much. Big Beck, who put in a Schmoebot. Bruce Dwayne. Seeing as you weren't a fan of my recent underrated films, how about some from a few years ago? Children of Men, A History of Violence, Grindhouse, and Constantine. I think History of Violence is the only one on that one that I would. No. Children of Men's a good movie. That's
Constantine is good. I'll defend Constantine till my death.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I saw it once. I remember not loving it, but
I watch it all the time.
I realize this now that watching a movie, especially last night on Schmoes, we did this thing. Mark had this thing where he went through to an old review and he pulled up our scores and we guessed what we thought it was, what we thought we scored it.
That's brilliant.
And he brought up About Time, right? Which is the one.
Yeah.
I really remember liking that movie a lot. I remember really liking it. I remember getting really emotional at the end. And I said I had to give that at least a 3.8 or maybe even a 4. I gave it a 3.2. And I said in my review, I said the story wasn't all the way there. And this, I have to go back and watch that movie and see what the hell I was talking about because I remember liking that movie.
We just talked about it recently, and so you were like, "Oh yeah, that was amazing."
Yeah. So I don't remember. I gotta go.
So good.
It is
It's still so good.
It really is good. Why do you keep shrinking over here? I don't understand that.
The incredible shrinking
Roca.
Roca.
The incredible shrinking Roca. Yeah, he shrunk again. There he goes.
Who, me?
Yeah, you're shrinking for some reason. I don't know what your video. Oh, there you go again. Now you're all pixelated.
Now you're pixelated.
I wish. Tell it my waist.
All right, take it easy. All right, so now we get back to where the hell are we? We're over on Big Beck, Office Space. I saw that in the theater by myself, and I laughed so hard. I don't think that one's underrated, though. Everybody talks about that movie. Everybody talks about that. Linus Babcock. Hey, Linus. Maybe it's my dumb college sense of humor, but I love Adam Sandler's. That's my boy. I mean, that's definitely probably a generational thing. I remember seeing that movie and being like, "This stinks," but a lot of
Was that with the twins?
No, that's my boy.
I fucking love that movie.
You like That's My Boy?
No, it's Sandberg.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
You might need to recall.
I loved
back.
it. Are you kidding? For some stupid ass reason, All
right, John, I'm gonna try it.
I'm sorry. No, do we need to reconnect?
I'm worried about that though, because that's what happened last night with Riley, and then we lost the whole stream. So,
am I back now?
It's just pixelated a little bit. Let me try to. I'm gonna work. A fan had suggested trying to go to just straight up go into Zoom.
Okay, he's Sandberg's dad. No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, you're here. I'll see if it kind of kicks back in. But if anything, I'll just keep you on the audio for a little bit.
Vanilla.
Go ahead. What?
Okay.
Are you
Vanilla's in that film. Todd Bridges is in that film. That film is funny as shit. He has a tattoo of the New Kids on the Block on his back because Sandler didn't want to step on his dreams, and he's like, "Who gets a tattoo like this at 14 years old? What the hell lets him do that?"
I got to see it again. I haven't seen that in a long time. But I'm gonna lose you here for a second.
Oh boy, I'll check the feed.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it. I'm nervous about calling him back. But let's.
You want me to drop?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop you.
Do you want me to hang up?
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you hang up?
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna lose John, and I'm gonna answer. I'll answer a few more. I want to make sure I get to all these questions here first, and let's see. Let's get back on over to where are we? So I lost a bunch of these things. So sorry about that. We're just trying to figure out the actual. This is the thing about not having the engineers. Oh, here's John. All right, good luck to us all.
Here we go.
Did we lose you? Did we get you back?
How's that?
Where's your video?
Is that better?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, your video's back. Now let me see if I got you back.
Still live.
Cool.
So far, so good. There we go. There's the end. There's the NDI. And we shrink it. Yeah. All right.
Better?
Lucky so far. All right. Good luck to us all. All right, getting back on over here to the 3 films that's Tarantino. We did that. And this just in. Thank you very much. Haskell had put in some stuff. You guys are putting in a lot of stuff.
Underrated movies also include Employee of the Month Matt Dillon version, King of New York, The Rundown, Eight-Legged Freaks, Not Another Teen Movie, Tropic Thunder, The Phantom, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and more.
I'll go with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I actually bought that one at Blockbuster, and I really liked it because I don't know the story of any of these. I'm not a comic book guy or anything like that, and I really liked Sean Connery in it.
Yeah, it's like that. It's revered as a stinker.
Yeah,
but
I loved it, so I'm a stinker. I guess
you're a stinker. No one likes you. That's good. What else? So now we have El Balantalaba. Hey, Ring. Oh, they're talking about New York, Kings of New York. Excuse me. Big Beck, Office Space, Hotel Nerd. Most underrated for me is Ghostbusters '84. I don't know if that's underrated.
Yeah.
I mean, people love that movie. 21 Bridges or Twister. What? Yeah, which needs a sequel. As for an anime, I must say Dragon Ball Super Brawly. As for sports movies, I'd say The Replacements, because unlike Cowboys, they know how to win big games. Nice shots. I like that.
Nice.
Salad von Baco. My favorite Nicolas Cage movie is underrated, which is A Vampire's Kiss.
Oh.
Yeah. I've never seen it. Michael Rhett Dingus said this yesterday.
That's a weird little film.
Yeah, John, you're we're losing you again. I might have to drop you. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thank you to John Rogan. Yeah, of course. Thanks for having John Rogan on. Make sure you check out his channel. Check out the Outlaw Nation. He's got so many great shows over there, so make sure you go and check him out. And look, I can give a little behind the curtain. We're shooting that championship match today for the exhibition for both him versus Merle versus Smets versus Alex Damon in a championship exhibition match. So that you'll be able to see that if we're shooting it today. It'll be probably live on the Patreon next week. But John, thanks, brother, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, we're just breaking up right now. So getting back on over here, ladies and gents, to some more of these questions. We have Bruce Dwayne, who also said Children of Men, History of Violence, Grindhouse, and Constantine. There's so many coming in now. I'm happy about it. Philly G, underrated, The Secret of Nim, Streets of Fire, A Simple Plan, The Game, Action Jackson, Payback, Nathan Hayes, possibly Tommy Lee Jones' most charismatic role. Love Action Jackson. That one to me is absolutely underrated. Vanity. You were talking before about Natty Gann. Yeah. Vanity for me. God, Vanity she was sexy. Do you remember how sexy she was in Last Dragon?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. She's an attractive lady.
Ooh la la.
Rest in peace. Nazwan Sabli, what are your favorites endings to a film? Mine are The Usual Suspects. I'm with you on that. Phoenix and Denis Villeneuve's film called Incendies, soul-crushing ending. I didn't see that. I like the ending of Inception a lot. I like what.
Oh no, I didn't. I thought you were gonna say the other one.
Which one? Interstellar?
No, the one that he mentioned, or he or she. I don't know. My brain is dying.
All right. Matt Chapman. I just watched Perks of Being a Wallflower the other day for the first time. I loved it so much that I watched it with my wife later that day. It was Dylan McDermott as the dad. That's right. My wife loved that $30 line so much she had me rewind that scene. I know it brings back memories for you, Brett, but I loved it. R. Clay Johnson. Christian, I was actually an extra in Anchorman 2. Then oddly, my bosses decided to take my office to see it for Christmas. The day we went, people were screaming whale vagina around the office. A little confusing to people who hadn't seen the original. That's right. Well, that's pretty fun. That sounds like it was a blast. Nazwan Zalabi again. If you have not seen a German film called Victoria, please check it out. It's one take from start to finish. No magic cuts like 1917. Matt Chapman, Four Brothers is a remake of the John Wayne movie The Sons of Katie Elder. I thought so. I don't know if anyone has mentioned it yet. I'm a tad behind. No, you were the first. Michael Rhett Dingus, Tenacious D, and The Picks of Destiny. I didn't know that was an actual movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I knew Tenacious D had their own movie. I didn't know that. Wait, did I know that? No, I thought it was an HBO special. Was it actually theatrically released?
That I'm not sure.
Wow. Alex Shishak put in Schmobot yesterday. So did Manny Being Manic, but put in 2. JPT Plays. Has anyone seen Eye of the Beholder, a weird and surreal movie with Ewan McGregor and Ashley Judd, but really entertaining? No, I haven't.
I know the name. I probably have.
No. John Rawring III. Hey guys, I hope you all are doing well. I rewatched No Country for Old Men, and I feel that it has the potential to be a great classic movie. Social Network also. What are some movies that you think have the potential to be classics, maybe in 10 years or so? Thanks a lot. Man, that's a tough question, man, because you never know what's going to be able to hold up, what's not. I don't know, man. That's a tougher one. I'd have to look at a list on that one. Movies that are classics that people really kind of lost their minds for over the last...
That it will keep becoming...
Yeah, over the last couple of years. I think Parasite might...
Yeah,
I think people are going to look at that as a classic. When you have a movie that unique, and it's a movie that do you want to watch it again is the question. I want to watch it again. And I didn't even love it as much as everybody else did. I liked it a lot, but I blame Gravity. Not only underrated, but utterly unknown and never released in theaters was The Big White. It's a dark comedy with an amazing cast. You have Robin Williams, Woody Harrelson, Giovanni Ribisi, Tim Blake Nelson, and the amazing Holly Hunter with Tourette's. No, I didn't know that. and it says, which, by the way, Holly Hunter with Tourette's is a great elevator pitch to perfectly describe Kate. That is very true, and I think she'd agree with you. Jake Yakavetta, I love this shit. Salute. Oh, this is from, okay, so we moved on in to
today.
Yeah, so now we're getting into let's get back into actual today's questions. So thank you to everybody who put in yesterday's questions. I promised I'd get to all of them, and we did. So really appreciate that for everything that you guys have done and continue to do. So the Dutch Stoner said, I just finished the Schmoes No Reunion Part 2 before this stream started. I really enjoy it. Horseman, time to roll another joint. And we're getting back to, today's the 10th. Justin Square, happy Friday. I'm a rule breaker, so I'm going to list some underrated TV shows.
Ooh.
Suits is a TV show with some amazing acting and storytelling. Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I'll do anything that Lena Headey does. I love Lena Headey. The best thing since Terminator 2 and Better Call Saul, it's criminally underwatched. The first couple seasons were, I think, then they started to become like Terminator of the Week type thing. So wasn't a huge fan of that particular thing. All right, Gingerbread said, Tim Kasuba. What's up, boys? Listening to yesterday's show, I'm stuck at work at 5 a.m. I work at a national wine retail chain. Apparently, we're essential as fuck. Underrated film is Defending Your Life, Charlie Bartlett, Hostiles with Bale and R. Pike. Hostiles was good. Hostiles is an absolutely underrated movie. I agree with you. Have you heard of that one? It's a Western.
Hostiles? I don't think so. But again,
Came out like
Defending
2
Your
years
Life
ago.
came up again.
Yeah, it did.
Hostiles.
Hostiles is good. Put that one on there. Gemarini, who says, any chance, I don't know why the Schmobot didn't come in there. Any chance we can get the Schmoes reunion shows on the podcast feed? Sorry, the weekly donation is a little late. Thank you. There's we might be able to get it on the podcast feed. We'll have to talk to Frankie Numbers about it. He's the one who usually puts it on there. Scarvy Dent, an underrated movie recently was Searching. I agree with you. That is a really good movie. And a movie that I thought the gimmick was going to get tired fast. But have you seen that one, Searching?
No, if it was recent, no.
It was, yeah. Well, but it's been out on cable or Blu-ray and all that stuff. Searching, you'll watch the movie and you'll think that you're going to get tired of the actual what the gimmick is, but you don't. It's very creative. It's incredibly innovative storytelling with huge emotional punch. Some of my others are Rocket Science, Everybody Wants Some, Happy Death Day, Nebraska, and 20th Century Women. You've definitely seen Nebraska, right?
Oh yeah, I saw Nebraska. I didn't love it. It was all right.
Thought it was okay.
It was kind of, I did, the characters.
Yes.
Performances
were good.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's a group of Nebraska men, old men sitting around a living room right there.
Christian Alante, thank you for the content that you guys provide. Well, thank you for watching and listening. I had to get out of New York City, and I live in my parents' house in Mass while this pandemic is happening, but my company is essential, so I have to drive down twice a week, and still this show helps me get through it. I'm glad. Please stay safe. It is crazy, especially crazy where you are, so please be safe and take care of yourself there. Christian, who follows up and says, 2 underrated comic book movies, in my opinion, are Captain America, the First Avenger, and Man of Steel. Another movie that I think does not get enough recognition is Mid-90s. Mid-90s was very accurate, I thought, to that time, and I did a good job by Jonah Hill directing. I had a chance to sit down with that kid. He's a pretty talented dude, that kid. So those are good ones. Thank you. Blade Hawk. An underrated fantasy movie that I love watching at least once a year is Stardust, directed by Matthew Vaughn. That movie does not get the love that it deserves. I have to rewatch Stardust because I'm a big Matthew Vaughn fan, and I don't really remember it as much as I remember the other movies. But I'll tell you what I do remember, Brett. Postmates. And I love the fact that we have Postmates. I love the fact that the fans have been excited that we have Postmates. And how exciting is it? Because it doesn't matter if it's breakfast, if it's you want to drink something before you're watching a movie, and you need somebody, you want somebody to come in and bring it to you. Guess what? You want it delivered fast. That's where Postmates come in. It's been monumental. It's been helpful. There's so many stores around here that Postmates can use, and that they have been able to help. And I used it all the time with Collider when I was there. It's because I'm working and I'm like, oh shoot, I got to eat something, and I can't get out the door. That's where Postmates comes in. And if you're like me, you're thinking about food. When I'm eating lunch, I'm thinking about dinner, and that's why I love using Postmates. They deliver food, any restaurant, right, whatever I need, right to the door. But Postmates, it doesn't just deliver burgers, not just sushi. It's everything, and it makes my life, it makes your life very easy with grocery delivery and whatever that I can think of. for delivery too. Convenience stores, clothing stores, you name it. No more trips to the store. No more late night fast food runs. I don't even have to worry about where to grab lunch anymore. You just download Postmates on iOS or Android and find your favorites and get anything you want delivered within the hour. This is the biggest part of it, and I've been telling everybody, and this is what everybody's so excited about. For a limited time, Postmates is giving our listeners $100 off of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. You start your free deliveries. You got to download the app, and you got to use the code SEN Live. If you use SEN Live, you get $100 off of free delivery credit with no minimum purchase for your first 7 days when you download the Postmates app. This is something that is crucial to everybody right now. And if you're going to be using it, make sure that you're using the $100. Anything you need, anytime you need it, you got to Postmate it. It's have you used the $100 yet, Brett?
I have. I already had it.
Yeah, you had.
Yeah. But I've used Postmates many a time, and it's great. And I think the young gentleman in Stardust could have used it instead of going to retrieve the fallen star for his beloved. He could have sent Postmates to pick it up.
I like exactly what you're doing there. Very, very, very smart. All right. So the BS report. So thank you for bringing in that Schmobot. So did Big Mo Movie Reviews. I Love Yummy Waffles is back, an underrated movie by Academy Awards. And one of my personal favorites is Sicario. You are singing my song, my friend. Sicario. Have you seen Sicario, Brett?
I have not.
Put that on your list. Put it on top of your list.
Put it on the top.
Put it on top of your list. The second one's it's all right, but the first one is great. Justin Square. I also wanted to say the other day I was watching WWE clips of when The Rock went heel in 2003 and embraced being a Hollywood sellout. He didn't care about booze at all, and it was too funny. Heel 101 for Schmodown pros who need help with the heel aspect. Yeah, it's a good one, too, and I think that... Yeah, that's my favorite. I was talking, I mean, Goddard's credit, too. I talked to Goddard about it. He's like, I want that shirt. I know. I said, I got to make you that shirt. The Dutch Stoner. I just finished the Schmoes No Reunion Part 2 before the stream.
I Like Moon, directed by Duncan Jones. It was well received by critics, but wasn't as popular as it deserves.
Yeah, people really enjoy that movie.
Your wife loves that.
My wife hates that movie. I don't. If you ask my wife what her most hated movie is, she would say Moon. Her and Makuga hate that movie. I like that movie a lot. I think it's a very smart movie. It's a good movie. All right. Let's see.
She hates it. So I've heard it on several occasions.
She hates that movie.
But I think you always go to
I always bring it up to go to her about it because she hates it so much. Absolutely. Thank you, Lucas, for putting that in there for sure. And we get to the Dutch Stoner. I finished Schmoes No Reunion Part 2. I really enjoyed it. Horseman, time to roll another joint. Thank you. So did the Sax Man. Hey, Rodding. Howdy the Outlaw. Been a fan for years. All of you guys really, but I love strong style, and it got me to start a wrestling podcast of my own. Thanks for the entertainment. Thank you for listening, and I'm sure the Outlaw is going to be happy to hear that. Jonathan Carroll, who put in the Schmobot. Trash Panda, Bad Times at the El Royale is underrated. Aside from Hemsworth not being able to do an accent, the movie is fire. Bridges, Evero, and Ham were great, and Hemsworth going villain was fun. That's another one, the Bad Times at El Royale. I wind up digging that movie. It's pretty. It gets dark also, but you can tell that he was going for like a Tarantino thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's the one you brought up earlier, right?
Yeah. Pac-Man Dwayne. Yo, where's my guys? First, great for mom and dad for bringing back Schmoes No Show, but I'm a black kid from DC, so I got underrated black comedies that I grew up with. Let me know if you've seen them. CB4, absolutely, with Chris Rock. Mm-hmm. House Party, you're again singing my music, and Bebe's Kids,
Again. Could we get Harloff doing Michael Rappaport commenting on those kids going to spring break party during the COVID-19 warnings?
I've never done Rappaport before. Let's see. Get it. Okay. Hey guys, it's Michael Rappaport here, and I was watching the fucking guy. This fucking guy's out there, and he's talking about going out. What the fuck are you doing? I can't even do it. I can't do it. Rappaport's got a certain thing about him.
Well, he's kind of got that.
He's got that thing. Yeah. He does a thing. He's like, what the? He's like, you get your stinky fucking smelly ass and you put it away when you're, what the fuck? You're going out? You stupid fuck you. You know, do you understand what I'm doing right now? I'm outside. I'm not even, Ma, look at this fucking dummy.
Look at this cat.
Have you watched his videos?
Oh,
though?
yeah.
Oh, they're so good. When he's did you see them with the kangaroos?
No,
dude.
I saw the cat one.
I gotta find
the
this
recent one about grab them by the little
I gotta find the kangaroos. The kangaroos.
crotches and bring them inside.
Hold on, Michael Rappaport.
Looking up all the kangaroo.
Yeah, I gotta find Michael Rappaport kangaroos. It's so good.
Hey, Ma, it's fucking cat.
Is this? Let's see if this is it.
Michael Rappaport?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
not on the fucking table. Mom.
Oh wait, mom. I love when he calls his mom. Like, why is he calling his mom? Here you go. Wait. This is Michael Rappaport talking about kangaroos.
Hey, not on the fucking table, man. Mom. These fucking kangaroos are out here fighting. Come on, you guys are supposed to be fucking friends, man. Cut this shit. Hey. Listen, one of you motherfuckers is kangaroos. You guys are supposed to be fucking friends, man. Cut this shit. Hey. Listen, one of you motherfuckers is gonna get hurt. Mom. Call a fucking
The
troop.
1982
Come on,
blockbuster,
man, break
The
this shit
Beastmaster. Mark Singer was the Aquaman of land animals. Can't forget Tanya Roberts
Tanya
and Rip
Roberts.
Torn.
Oh shit. Tanya
Torn.
Roberts. Yeah. I love the Beastmaster, man. I love that movie. Anyway, check out the kangaroos.
Michael
fighting.
Rappaport, True Romance.
He was great in that.
It's me. It's me. Hello, it's me.
Yeah, I had him. We had him on. You know, he was on Movie Talk a handful of times. I mean, he was a trip, dude. He was a trip. I know. I wanted him on one. Just never happened. But he's a funny dude. He cracks me up. My mother was just like, that Michael Rappaport. He's got something wrong with him. All right, let's go back on over to we're going back to the. What's wrong?
That video.
It was great.
Not on the table.
Not on the table. Not on the table. Okay, getting back on over to the streamlabs.com/the Schmodown.
Yes.
Manny Bean Malik. Thank you. JPD Plays. We did the. I don't know. Shit. How do we get back here? I'm back. I'm all the way back on over to you guys. Garth Harkis McMurray. I'm all the way. Sorry, guys. I went to the wrong side.
Yeah, it's all right. We're gonna slip back over there. You kind of started to get into like an NPR voice there for a minute.
Yeah, why don't you talk to them for a second while I find this?
So, guys, listen. He's just trying to find where we were left off last time. Hope you're all keeping safe out there. We're gonna have Steve Chiatakis coming in later.
Chiatakis.
We got Cherry Glazer. These are real NPR people.
Let's see where we're at here. We're at 502. That's horse shit.
Oh.
502.
Didn't have a chance to write down.
Another underrated film to me is Paid in Full with Wood Harris, Mekhi Phifer and Cameron. One of my favorite movies, and I can watch it over and over again.
Thank you, Big Mo. Where were we when we didn't we get over to 500 when we did the damn
Yeah, we were over 600.
No, we were in at 600, but here we go. Come on, shitwads.
What are we at?
Right now we're at 515. You want to get to 600? You didn't write anything down?
I couldn't get a yeah.
All right, here we go. We're gonna try to get to 600, guys. There's 800 people in here. We got to get to 600. Here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Auctioneer is going to come up here, and we're going to get to 600. We're looking for 600. Come on, Ann Greg.
All right, everybody. So thank you for joining us here today, trying to get to 600 here. 600 before we finish up this bit that we've been doing for a while. Click the like there, shitwads. 600. We're at 523. 523. I shaved my toenails with a cheese grater. All right, 525. 525. 525.
Low number. No number. We need to get that number up. Get the number up.
529. Looking for 600. Looking for 600. One time I grabbed the dolphin by the side of the fin, and I've never went back. All right. 535. Looking for 600. Looking for 600. Can we get the 600? 535. Can we get the 540? 543. 543. Can we get the 600? Can we get the 600? 543. I used to bang my head up against a potato, and for no reason.
544. 544. 544. 544. 545.
548. We're at 548. Looking for 600 before this fucking bit ends. 549. 550. One time I took an axe handle like they did in wrestling and slapped my balls with it. 553.
Now, folks, this is a beautiful show you're looking at. This is a very rare show. It's a nice show. You want to get those likes in there. Come on. Oh, in the back, we got another one.
556. Looking for 600. I was standing next to a friend of mine. He gave me the stink finger. 557. Looking for 600.
600. It's a tough one to 600 today. We gotta get it. Come on.
Everybody thinks this bit should be annoying. You've hit it right on the head. 561. Get to 600, or I will play with my diddly. All right, 564. We've dropped down. We went from 571.
Oh, brother, they don't like the bit. I think it's working against us now. Oh, brother, this is not good. I'm feeling the pressure.
All right, let's spin another 568. 568. That's fine.
This is oak, people.
This is my favorite.
Beautiful oak.
Losing our fucking minds is what we're doing.
You ever been to an auction like that?
No.
Oh.
They're fun?
Oh, yeah, because there's a guy that's just like, huh!
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, is that what you do?
Hey! He's just like the helper. Like
just screaming.
And then they'll stop for a minute. Like, folks, we're looking at a nice piece of oak here. This is not in that voice necessarily.
But he goes back into it, yeah. We got to do more of those. Pac-Man Dwayne, yo. We did that one, right? Sorry. Damon's Ass, All Is Lost. It's the only movie I've ever wanted to walk out of. The guy does nothing for nearly 2 hours. Decides just to, I don't want to do that. I don't want to tell you. It's a spoiler. Really did nothing for me. Now, Roka, please keep your distance. Tongue Punch, The Fart Box. More underrated movies. Attack the Block, Hannah, Stardust, Long Kiss Goodnight, Rise of the Guardian, Skeleton Key, Atlantis, Treasure Planet, and Don't Say a Word. These are good ones. Cast Iron Gang. An underrated South American film that I'd recommend to Roka to watch if he hasn't seen it is the Peruvian film Captain Pandoja and the Special Services, based on a novel by Mario Vargas Llosa. It's a good one. Roku. Don't know if it was addressed yesterday, but the Boondock Saints, in my opinion, is super underrated. I'd also like to add in The Perfect Storm. Please be super cool, fellas. Please
Boondock Saints coming up a lot.
People keep talking about that one a lot. Yeah, and it's the one that I know that Norman Reedus is in that one. I've never seen it. I know people love it. Shelby Y. A few of underrated movies are The Illusionist, Scanner Darkly, Tucker, Dale vs. Evil, Bachelorette, which is the better version of Bridesmaids, The Virgin Suicides, We Own the Night, A Cure for Wellness, and Oculus with Katie Sackhoff. Oculus is a good horror film.
Yeah, Virgin Suicides, I remember that one. I liked that one. Yeah, that was kind of that Heather's vein, kind of, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Katie's really good in Oculus also, too. It's creepy. Billy STL. I tried to watch Flubber with my 5-year-old last night. Midnight through, I looked over and she was staring at the wall next to the couch. Robin Williams, R.I.P., was a comedic genius, but man, did he have some stinkers. Yeah, he had some stinkers for sure, but he had some really great ones too. So
I mean, was the original any?
The one that was Jerry Lewis, right?
Yeah, was it? Or no,
so.
that was
It was Nutty Professor.
Dick Van Dyke. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Speaking of one that's great, is Trash Panda brings up The Birdcage, which is hugely underrated. It's a big hit back in the day, then it went away and it was forgotten. Williams, Lane, Hackman, and Azaria were all hilarious. It's a really funny movie. It's really
my watermelon heat.
Yeah.
You can't handle my heat.
Yeah. And Robin Williams was so good in that movie. Troy, Adam Sandler's That's My Boy got lost in his run of mostly crappy movies in the 2000s, but it is hilarious. Closest follow-up to Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. And though probably not underrated, I don't think Grandma's Boy gets talked about enough. I got to see all those again. I saw them once or twice and never went back. S.B. Stewart, I really enjoyed the 1993 version of the Three Musketeers with Kiefer Sutherland, Oliver Platt, and Charlie Sheen, plus Tim Curry as the wonderfully evil Cardinal Richelieu. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember it enough. Yeah, I remember them all being in it and people making a big deal out of it, but I haven't seen that version of it in such a long time. Billy STL again, underrated Robin Williams movie though is 1 Hour Photo. It's one of the best performances he's ever had, and I mean when you're able to do that, be that lovable, and then go into that place.
That one. Oh.
Yeah. The Mountaineer. Thank you for that, Schmoebot. Pillmore Lee. When I first watched Event Horizon in 1997, I shat myself in style. I think it's underrated and an overlooked horror/sci-fi. Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill kind of rocked. I've not seen it in years, so I don't know if it holds up. I haven't seen Event Horizon in a long time, so not sure. King Nirvana 24, not sure if it's underrated, but I love Army of Darkness. I think it's underrated. I think it's one of those movies that people don't talk about enough. And also the first movie I didn't know had another ending. Watching the movie when I was a kid, I saw the happy ending all the time. Then I saw it again, but they showed the other ending, and it shocked me. I don't know if I've seen the other ending.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't realize
know
there was another one.
So there you go. David Wilson. One more underrated gem is Troll Hunter, not the animated series. Don't let the name fool you. It's an outstanding piece of dark fantasy and the best of the found footage genre, in my opinion. Have you ever seen it? I have not.
No.
Troll Hunter. I have not seen it. Sounds good though, like a dark fantasy movie. I'm in. Damon's Ass. A movie that I don't hear people talk about enough is Man on a Ledge. Is that the one with who's in that one? I think Man on a Ledge. Is that the one? I'm not sure. There's check out Man on a Ledge. One of the very few times I didn't see the twist coming. A few others are Secret Window. Is that the one with Sam Worthington?
Sam Worthington, yep.
I thought it was okay. A few others are Secret Window and From Hell. Both are debt movies. And more comedic one, Due Date. I did not like Due Date. I think we're just different tastes here. and Galifianakis. I got really annoyed with that movie. Tim from Boston. An underrated movie that I don't hear many people talking about is Danny Boyle's Sunshine. I watched it a few years ago, and it quickly became a top 10 sci-fi movie. People love that movie. I've never seen it, but I remember people telling me I needed to see Sunshine and how wonderful it is. Mark Fitzpatrick, an underrated movie to me is Mystic River. It gets overshadowed by $1 Million Baby, Unforgiven, and Gran Torino when it comes to Eastwood. Also, Tangled is a very underrated animated movie. I agree with you there. Big fan from Ireland. Rocco, your impression has my approval. Oh, I got to tell him that. I got to let him know that. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good.
Yeah,
he's got some backing for some, because people from Ireland are very protective of their accents.
Yeah,
so that's good that they give,
especially because they're not. It's not all the same. There's different counties.
Yeah, it's like
New York and
Mississippi. It's like it's completely different. Mark Fitzpatrick, thank you so much. Jim Sandelin, Raring. My movie is Revenge, 1990s. And I know the movie, but I'm not even looking at it. It's Kevin Costner, Madeline Stowe. It's Kevin Costner, Anthony Quinn, and Madeline Stowe, directed by Tony Scott. Kevin plays a Navy pilot that retires and goes to Mexico and falls in love with Anthony Quinn's wife, and shit hits the fan. It's hashtag Baba Boogie. It is a really good movie, and I remember watching that movie often because Madeline Stowe's another one that I loved. Cody Allen, I don't know if it's considered underrated, but I love Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. As a musical person, it's one of my favorite comedies. I saw some clips recently because that's definitely based off of like Dylan and a lot of the Dylan stuff I know it's Johnny Cash also, but he's up there at one point and he's doing and then I'm gonna be on the side of the wind and took it and I have to be man and oranges and pickles and I can't remember who it was. Someone looks over and goes, "What is this song about?" He's like, and he goes, "Quiet, man, you don't even understand."
So he does a bunch of, it looks like, because on the cover he's doing the Morrison thing.
Yeah. I think he does like a bunch of different.
Okay.
I got to see that one again. I haven't seen it in a long time. Cody Allen, thank you. Paul Denuzio, my underrated part 2 is Tango and Cash, good one. The Saint, Fifth Element, Butterfly Effect, Can't Hardly Wait, The Game, Buffalo Soldiers, State of Grace, Gary Oldman, great movie.
And and you hide these always. The Fifth Element, love Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Seen that one a ton of times.
Big Fish, Major League 2. Oh, Paul, you lost me with that one. I hate Major League 2. Iron Eagle, My Blue Heaven, and Leap of Faith, because I love Major League so much. I don't like when they go from rated R to jump to PG-13 just to make some. That was clearly just to make some more money.
And I loved Can't Hardly Wait.
Yes. Toombs Penis says underrated movies include Employee of the Month, the Matt Dillon version. Why didn't this come in? The King of New York, The Rundown, Eight-Legged Freaks, Not Another Teen Movie, Tropic Thunder, The Phantom, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and more. I don't know why that didn't come in.
That was a Schmoebot?
Yeah, it didn't come in. Roku, Reign Over Me, Adam Sandler's best performance, I feel. His monologue about his kids and wife kills me every time. That Reign Over Me is definitely underrated Adam Sandler. But jumping back to Toombs Penis. Yeah, the Employee of the Month, with Matt Dillon, I don't remember that one. Mm-mm. King of New York with Christopher Walken, The Rundown, Eight-Legged Freaks, Not Another Teen Movie is an underrated comic. Both Sam Levine and our friends Serena Vincent are in that movie. Tropic Thunder, I think, is another one. People aren't talking about it as much. I think people are still, maybe, they think that because Downey got nominated for that role, which is so.
Yeah,
I thought that movie's freaking funny, man. Really funny. He would never get nominated today for that role. Roku, Reign Over Me, thank you. Tongue Punch the Fart Box. Fantastic, Mr. Fox. This is 40, The Sweetest Thing. Dinner for Schmucks. I did not like Dinner for Schmucks.
Oh, really?
No. Do you like that movie?
I think I enjoyed it. I don't think I loved it, but it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, Shooter, Euro Trip, and Road Trip are some underrated movies that I can think of. Fair enough. So I really like enjoying all of the different tastes that we're getting throughout these. There's so many different, like, you can tell how many, like, you know, how subjective movies are. So did the Saxman, This Is Where I Leave You, Charlie Bartlett, Alan Partridge, City Slickers, The Nice Guys, A Mighty Wind, Me and Orson Welles, Roxanne, The Prestige, 17 Again, and Love, Simon are all underrated. Love, Simon's a good movie, man. Love, Simon is a good movie. I think it is.
That one I didn't. I think you gave that to me too.
Yeah, you should watch that one. Ramon Fritz. My underrated movies: Fury, Saw 1, Three Amigos with Short Martin and Chase. Other favorites: Mike and Ike's, Cauliflower Pizza, Rustic Camping, Attack on Titan in America, Date Nights, and Bubble Bath. You making up movies? Match for today: Harloff versus Ellis. Thank you. Didn't it sound like he was making up movies? Listen to this again. Pretend like these are all not, pretend they're all not movies.
Okay.
All right. My favorite underrated movies. Okay. Fury, Saw 1, and Three Amigos was short. And this is where it starts to go off the rails. Okay. Other favorites: Mike and Ike's, Cauliflower Pizza, Rustic Camping. These aren't movies. Attack on Titan, Date Nights, and Bubble Baths.
That was just stream of conscience. Yeah. That was just like right there. First thing that comes to your mind.
No, he started with the movies, and he said, "Fuck it, I'll tell you what else I like."
I like Bubble Baths, turtles,
chalking in my underpants.
Long walks on the beach.
No, except right now.
Picking up seashells. This isn't a movie.
Garth Harkus McMurray. Two of my favorite underrated movies are The Conversation, starring Gene Hackman, Harrison Ford, and Enemy of the State, starring Hackman, Will Smith, and Jon Voight. I agree with the fan theory that Hackman is both the same man. That's pretty interesting. Wonder if they ever. Yeah, I wonder. That's pretty interesting. A lot of other ones coming in here, guys. Thank you.
Bubblegum Nightmare.
That's true. Ramon Fritz crushed us with that one. Sebonius. I like Snow on the Bluff from Motorama, Box of Moonlight, Kiss. And this is kids in the German films, The Wave, and White Ribbon. What's happening?
These are real.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, that's a great game. Is it a real film or not?
I'm just sure this is what the Schmoebots are going to be next. Croper 222. Hello, long-time watcher since Collider.
Hey.
Thank you to you and your team. My underrated are Skin Deep with John Ritter. Skin Deep. You ever see Skin Deep?
Yes.
That's a good one. He what does he say? Remember he's dressed up as the condom or whatever? What does he do? No, it's got the glow-in-the-dark condom. That's what it is. And he's running around. That's a funny movie, man, with John Ritter. Where did that go? All right. Skinny Battle Beyond the Stars with Richard Thomas and The World According to Garp with Robin Williams. 3 great TV stars showing some reigns. It's a good one. Professor Castrate, salute to Dan Murrell. Gonna miss him on Screen Junkies, but I'm excited for his Schmoedown future and can't wait to see what he does on his own. Professor out. Yeah, me too. I'm very excited for Dan. Can't wait, and I'm excited to talk to him a little later.
Hey.
By the way, because he's gonna be on this exhibition match with John and Alex Damon and Kevin Smith. Johnny Epp. An underrated film that I love is the 1983 film by Ralph Bakshi and Frank Frazetta called Fire and Ice. I'd love to see a live-action remake. I don't know that one. These are some. This list that you're going to have. Yeah, Louis de Frenchie, who said French Mountie. What? Oh no, we did that one. Okay, we did it was the Michael Rappaport one. Dr. Detroit, who put in a Schmoebot. Big Mo movie review, who said that Paid in Full with Wood Harris, Mekhi Phifer, and Cameron, one of my favorite movies, and I can watch it over and over again. Paid in Full. There's so many suggestions here that I can go through. I can go all the way down these lines and find all of these suggestions. And there's some new movies that I haven't even heard of. These are great. These are really good. Thank you for all these new suggestions. Love it. Agent 666 PTC. Some of the underrated last night with Sandra Oh. Final with Dennis Leary. Dog Soldiers. Someone had put that in there. Dark City, Reign of Fire, and Kelly's Heroes. And McClintock aren't talked about nowadays, to my dismay. Yeah. J.J. Windward. Hey, Rowdeen. Hey. My favorite underrated movie is The Master of Disguise with Dana Carvey. That one I've never heard. I've heard of the movie. I've heard of the movie, but I've never heard that brought up in these types of movies. So there you go. Watched it a bunch of times as a kid. My family still quotes it. King Nirvana, the original ending of Army of Darkness. Ash miscounts the amounts of potion needed to be able to correctly return to his own time. That's the original ending. Yeah, remember that. The result, he wakes up in a post-apocalyptic future where human civilization is destroyed and he screams in dismay. That's one I remember. Is there another ending? I don't remember the other ending. What's the other ending? That's the ending I remember. Bill Matic. Some oddball, underrated movies to me are John Woo's The Killer and Hard Boiled, Bad Boys with Sean Penn, Raging Bull, Kids, Colors, and Beat Streets for what it did for hip-hop culture.
Kids.
Awesome. Yeah, Kids. That was a hard one to watch. Paul Denuzio. I'm sorry, I meant Major League, not Major League 2. That was a fat-fingered slip while typing. Fair enough. Yeah, that movie stinks it up. Okay, Coco Cam's my underrated movies: SWAT, Hancock, Dogma, and even though it won Best Picture, Slumdog Millionaire doesn't get talked about a lot these days. I think that was one of those movies that I think was a really good movie, but I don't know if it stands the test of time. It's a great movie. I think it's just a really good movie. Did you ever wind up seeing that one?
What's that?
Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire. Oh, loved it. Yeah.
Did you love it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I thought it was really good.
This one we talked about yesterday. Michael Rhett Dingus. Role Models is underrated comedy. Another one is School of Rock. That's Clark's favorite. Where I've played musical instruments my whole life, and having mom's love for classical with my love for AC/DC made this movie one of my favorites. I'm gonna head on over to Super Chat. By the way, there's a few Super Chats in there that we want to get to. A lot of Super Chats that are popping in there today, and I thank you. I thank you for bringing those in. Jader. The good Jada Paramo, who's got a big match today, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Jada Paramo's going up against Brittany Young from Glow. Make sure you check that out, and do not leave for both the pre and the post scenes today. It's huge. Though I hate what he did with Iron Man 3 and The Predator, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys are highly underrated films. Miss you guys. Stay safe. Thank you, Jada, and I agree with you. Big fan of both Nice Guys and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I think is criminally underrated, and it was given no love by the studio when it came out, by the way. The Ailment, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford, Midnight Special, Cold in July, The Last Days of Disco. Thanks, guys. Hey, Raw Ring.
Hey, Raw Ring.
Yeah. David Reese. I think Pain and Gain and The Gift with Jason Bateman are underrated. I think the which is the one that he did with Jennifer Aniston. The Test. The Switch. The Switch is an underrated comedy. That movie bombed, and I like that movie. That's the one where it says with Jeff Goldblum that we pulled the line from. That is ill-advised. It's my favorite line. It's so good. David Reese says, I think Pain and Gain, The Gift, and I also The Gift with Jason Bateman is an absolutely underrated movie. You're talking about the one that Joel Edgerton directed. And I agree, it's also a good movie. I also think that an underrated show is Barry. Barry gets a lot of love. It's getting nominated I think it's got. I don't know how underrated
I gotta check that one
is.
out.
Yeah. Ryan C. says, I feel like Moonlight gets forgotten. It's amazing. Max Turi, Apostle, 2018 on Netflix is a great movie that people should go see, as well as Midnight Special, The Adjustment Bureau, and Take Shelter. All personal faves. Adjustment Bureau is a if you go into that movie thinking one thing, I can see where you wouldn't like it, but when you understand what it is on a rewatch, you probably like it a lot better. It's a love story. It's not Dark City. That's what a lot of people kind of thought it was going into it. Senior Film, who brought in, I think, Apocalypto is very underrated. And we talked about that earlier for sure. And back over to Loloida 6, History of Violence, one of my favorite, underrated. It's a great slow burn with amazing performances by a stellar cast. Senior Film, if you were an Iron Man, which actor, celeb, character, voice would you want to be the Jarvis? Who would I want to be? Let's see. Scarlett Johansson. She's got a good voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You? Who do you got, Brett?
I don't even know what that question means.
Jarvis? It's the one that talks to him?
Yeah, yeah.
Who would you want? You get a celebrity that you can talk. Who would you want talking to you?
Oh, talking to me all the time?
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff Bridges. I want Jeff Bridges to wake me up every morning.
And nominate and just narrate.
No, and just make me feel good about myself every day. Yeah. I just feel like he's so inspirational when you hear him talk.
Yeah. Pappy M, Hudson Hawk, and Top Secret don't get the respect they deserve. Both are so good.
Papillon?
Pappy M is the name. That's his name.
Oh.
But
I thought you were talking about the movie Papillon.
No, that's a
Hey guys, loving the show today. I agree. Christian Slumdog Millionaire a tiny bit overrated.
Yeah.
Just thought I would do this shout out. Pompeia is doing a 12 marathon to raise money for Feeding America, raising money for food banks. Just a heads up.
Yes, no.
Stay sweaty.
I know. I'm gonna pop on there and around like 1:00. He asked me to last night, so I'm gonna go on and do that. Hudson Hawk and Top Secret. That's right. Shiv Kumar, in my opinion, very underrated, is Godfather 3. My favorite of the three. I think if you would have actually gotten Winona Ryder in there instead of Sofia Coppola, I think it would have been a better movie. She brings it down. Shiv Kumar. Sorry. Thank you for that one. Danielle Almodovares. Is it me? But doesn't Real Genius have an awesome 80s soundtrack?
Dude, the best.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I've watched that a ton of times. I love that movie.
How many times do you think you've seen it?
I would say at least 30 times. I mean, no joke, because it was one of those movie channels. I used to put things on heavy repeat, and they would play things heavy, like the movie channel.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah, Real Genius, all the police academies,
all
Revenge
of
of
them,
the Nerds, all those things.
Do you remember who the villain was in Police Academy 2?
No.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh.
Sure was.
He was the villain,
He was
but
the
then
villain.
he became part
a
of
good
the
guy.
new.
Yeah. He became a good guy. Okay. Getting back on over there too. Thank you to everybody who's putting in both the super chats and the Streamlabs. The Schmobot is still going to be on for the next half an hour while we're here. So go on over to streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. Anything you want to hear, any impressions we haven't done, anything in general, we're going to go back on over and check if the auction will come back soon. Did you write down anything yet?
I can't. I don't have any paper or anything.
What the hell's wrong with
I'll
you?
come up with one for Monday. It'll be better. It'll be better that way. I'm looking up these movies. I'm thinking of movies. I'm getting movie
Thanks a lot. You pitch a bit. I like it. And then you fucking eat shit. You won't remember this shit. Shiv Kumar, thank you.
I put it on my notes.
Big Mo's movie reviews. Disney.
Starring one of the most underrated films ever is the iconic Robert De Niro / Al Pacino movie Night Falls. So good. It just shows you that not any Yahoo can make up a movie.
That's right. That's to this day. Did you know that story?
No.
When I was on Movie Fights, I was going up against. So the way that Movie Fights works is you do the full like arguing, and then you do the speed round. So speed round comes up, and you have like a second to say who's the best Tom in movies, right? And it's like the first person to say it gets to argue it. So if you say Tom Cruise and I say, I can't even think of it, Tom Hanks, then you argue against why you believe that's the case. So the movie was, what is the best? The question was, what is the best movie with the word night in the title? And I can't remember what Ellis said, but I said, you see me, I go, Night Falls, and I go, nobody really catches me say that, right? And I say, look, Night Falls, it's an underrated movie with De Niro and Pacino. Not a lot of people even realize that they did it because it was almost nominated for an Oscar. It had crime, it had a crime ring, and all this stuff too. And I argued against it, and you hear the judges kind of going back and forth of why, and they just give Ellis the point. And I go, that's fine because I made that movie up. And I made it up, and they made like posters out of it, and they did this whole thing. It was like it became a legendary moment in the Movie Fights history. But I think I actually did it again. But not to that extent, but close to it. Yeah. And I put Dan on his toes, though, I'll tell you that. Okay, Big Mo's movie review says Disney's Hercules is very underrated. I gotta go back and watch Hercules again. I was kind of past my time. I gotta see it. Andrew J. Wilson, Danny Boyle's Sunshine is a great film. It's got Cillian Murphy, and he's awesome in it. I reckon that's why Nolan has put him in a lot of movies. I gotta check that out. J. Creative, not great. Underrated film is Enemy of the State. Yeah, with him and Gene Hackman and Will Smith.
Yeah.
80 and Moulton, Better Off Dead is underrated. I agree. Not enough people, like new generations, don't watch that movie enough. Kyle Stewart, the Coen brothers' first film, Blood Simple, needs to be talked about more. It's an excellent crime noir film. Also, McDormand's film debut, masterclass in indie filmmaking. Kim Lahif, most underrated for me is The Cell. I've seen that movie a handful of times. It's got a shit rating, but I like it. So Tarhem directed that, right? Vincent D'Onofrio was terrifying. He sure was. The boy in the striped pajamas is haunting and devastating. Have you ever seen The Cell?
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's Jennifer Lopez, Vince Vaughn, and Vincent D'Onofrio is creepy as hell in that movie.
Yeah.
He's a serial killer. He's nuts in that movie. Big Mo's movie reviews. Banshee is a severely underrated TV series. Some Guy Online, Night Falls is the most underrated. Daniel Amendolas, Tango and Cash. Big Mo's movie reviews. Immortals with Henry Cavill is underrated to me. I remember being excited about that movie when it came out, and it never hit for me. Dragon R3 Born. Payback, The Cowboy Way, and The Kung Fu Hustler ones. A lot of good ones coming out.
Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah. You guys are getting a lot of good ones here, guys, today. Kate Van D, Blindness, starring Julianne Moore. Very strange. Don't think I've ever seen that one. Kim Lahif, one more. I'm partial to anything Christian Bale, but The Machinist is very underrated because it
never
got into it.
No, I never did that one.
Oh, because he gets lost in the overall course of his career. I mean, it's the one you remember what happened.
Yeah, I know.
He lost all that grip of weight. It's scary. It's scary. He hurt himself because of all the weight that he lost in that movie. But it's a very good performance, and I'd say underrated. I don't think enough people talk about that one. Emilio Benvedes. Attack the Block for me was a millennial R-rated UK Goonies. Also gave us John Boyega. Yeah, it's funny because that was the one everybody remembered Boyega from. But then after the Star Wars movies, obviously nobody talks about that movie as much anymore. Stizzy's House, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I never loved that one.
That was my least favorite of the Wes Anderson films.
Yeah, I never loved that. And Stizzy said, "Love the show." Well, thank you, man. Sorry to shit all over your picks. That wasn't the case. Ryan C. Nightfall is incredibly underrated. Thank you. Esplan Audio. My underrated picks are You're Next. You're Next. That movie. Did you see that movie?
Oh, I was getting ready for a fake list.
No, Your Next is real. Your Next is it's this horror movie, and I remember Adam Wingard, I think, and I saw that movie. And I remember I had such a switch on that movie. I hated it when it started, and then I wound up loving it by the end.
What's a movie you need someone to love or you can't mess with them? Mine's is Kung Fu Hustle. Pete, love you long time. RB3 and First Cut, and of course Bingo.
I mean, well, I could say Empire Strikes Back, but then I wouldn't be married. Because my wife's not a big.
I wouldn't see. I just wouldn't make it a deal breaker.
Yeah, I don't know if there's movies that it's as far as like taste go. Like when it comes to actual movie, I'm trying to try to have. I always when I go back and forth with Ellis and Campia, when they say that Return of the Jedi is their favorite, I think it's the best made Star Wars movie out of the original trilogy. I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like I don't really. To me, The Empire Strikes Back. That's the ultimate one. So to me, that's when I have. It's more of like I'm in the neighborhood with those Star Wars fans.
I was just thinking in terms of it was like Sofia Vergara saying like, I did not like the Royal Tannenbaums. Oh, well, no. Then no sex for you.
Is that what he says?
No, I think that's what it was kind of referring to. It's like, what's a deal breaker when it comes with hooking? No.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. So let's see what else. But anyway, You're Next is it starts out like this horror movie, but it turns out into like a horror movie that turns into Home Alone. It's crazy. I really enjoy. And that girl, what happened to that girl? Can you look up You're Next? What is that girl's name that was the star of that movie? She was
Sharni Vincent.
Is that her name? Sharni Vincent. She was so good in the movie. What the hell happened to her? I thought she was going to blow up. The World's End. Dope is one that's been talked about a lot.
Yeah. I did love Dope.
Yep. Jeepers Creepers. They Live. That's absolutely. Gross Point Blank and the Goofy movie. People love that Goofy movie. Bam 86.
Hey, Maureen, an underrated comedy is The Super with Joe Pesci. Freaking hilarious.
That's a funny movie.
Yeah.
That's a funny movie. Bam 86. The Super. I remember the Super. By the way,
Super.
Yeah. That. And remember 8 heads in a duffel bag. Do you remember that movie? Yeah. So those are all Joe Pesci wonders back then.
She didn't do much after the.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Bam 86. Stay tuned. And Mom and Dad Save the World has always been super underrated movies. I don't know that one.
Mom and Dad Save the World. Jeez,
Yeah, I
gotta
don't know.
look up a lot.
Some more over on Streamlabs.
That's why I can't write your list. I'm looking all these up.
There's more over on streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. People that keep coming in. Thomas Mason. My underrated would be the Thomas Crown Affair, the the Brosnan and Russo version. I'm with you, man. That's a good movie. I remember that movie when that movie came out. I dug it. I dug that movie a lot. I thought that is an underrated movie. It's an underrated crime film for sure. Paul Denuzio, Coco Cams, my underrated movies, SWAT, Hancock, Dogma, even though it won Best Picture, Slumdog Millionaire doesn't get talked about a lot these days. Yeah, that's the one we talked about before. Michael Rhett Dingus, Role Models is underrated. School of Rock, we talked about these already, right? Sorry. The Brain Machine, I was going to Schmoebot, but I decided to join the SEN Patreon to see Brett and Kate today. Well, thank you.
See you later.
Wondering if it was possible to see how see the gallery view using Skype. I like seeing everyone on the screen together. Love y'all. Thanks for the fun. Yeah, I mean to do like there's some. I know what he's talking about. Like I gotta find out. Like you can do like how do they split the screen like that? Because I
think
wonder
Skype might be getting the kibosh
soon. Skype's definitely getting it. There's no doubt about that. I'm gonna try to do this thing. Can I do this? I wonder if I can get...
Yeah, mess around with the settings.
Right now. Right?
We got 20 minutes.
20 minutes. But what I want to try to do is I think that I could add my camera into yours. I just got to figure out how to do that because then I don't want to call like Goddard and RB3. I want to learn how to do it myself. That's what I've been doing so far. The Brain Machine, thank you for doing that. It's going to be good today, man. You got a lot of cool stuff coming up. And the other thing I wanted to mention to everybody we have on the Schmoedown Insiders. I've posted this on Twitter before, and we have a really cool thing that we set up for the Schmoedown. I have the entire season, by the way, all 7 seasons. If you've never seen the Schmoedown or you wanted to go back and look, you can go into my pin tweet has all of the seasons up there. So please go and check that out. But for everybody else, I'll let everyone know that we've launched a new Insiders program. It keeps you up to date on the latest announcements on our shows, upcoming events, merchandise drops, all of that stuff. And we have a ton of merch coming out with a lot of the team's logos, because people have been asking me, when the team's logo is going to be available? When is this going to be available? Sign up to this. I'm going to retweet it from my account right now. So I just retweeted it. Please go on over there. Sign up today. It is our Insiders program. Very, very excited about it. So please go over and check it out. And Brett and Kate today.
Yes.
What time are you guys going?
1:30.
1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m. They will be on. You have to join the SEN Patreon. You can help them develop their show that they're going to be doing on the SEN network. Be a part of it. Join the $10 Patreon tier today, and you can be part of that stream today with Brett and Kate. It's going to be a lot of fun. Spread the word about it. It's going to be cool. All right. So Keelix, one of my favorite underrateds is Casualties of War. That is a great movie. I'm so glad that you brought that up. I haven't thought about that movie in years. With Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn, directed by Brian De Palma. Very good war film. It's a messed up war film too. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in years. You ever see that movie?
No.
Casualties of War, the Vietnam movie, where they capture this. I think they capture this woman, and Sean Penn turns out to be like the bad guy, and Michael J. Fox obviously is the good guy and trying to protect the girl. It's a good movie, man. I haven't seen that movie in years. Holy shit, that's a good movie. Osvaldo Hernandez. Some of my favorite underrated movies are Punch Drunk Love, Lobster, Nocturnal Animals, Dallas Buyers Club, Thank You for Smoking, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Some Kind of Wonderful, Winter's Bone, A Serious Man, and Good Time. Watching Mrs. Doubtfire. This is cool, man. It's like, I think that it gets people excited to kind of put in their movies, things that they love, and hopefully this helps to everybody. Knapsack's Ponytail. My underrated movies are Clear and Present Stranger. Here we go. Yeah. Tale of Two Titties, Apocalypto, Soul Plane. That's a normal one. Yeah. A Midsummer's Night's Cream. There we go. By Curious George, Ejacula, Malcolm XXX, Hancock. That's the same one. Rambone, Pulp Friction, and Thor: The Dark World. All right.
Okay.
There you go.
I have a book called Romancing the Bone that my friend bought me years ago. It's still, and we passed it around for a while, but it's been in my hidden now with the children.
Perfect. Thomas Mason, underrated for me. Thomas Crown Affair. Yeah. Ben Rayner. Hey guys, I'm loving the show. Oh, this is the Schmobot. Thank you. King Nirvanan. The other ending is Ash back at the S-Mart store telling a coworker about his adventure back in time and how he could have been king. Then a Deadite starts wreaking havoc on the store, and Ash defeats it. The film ends with Ash saying, "Hail to the king." I've never seen that one.
No.
I've never seen that one. I saw the other one. The first one you talked about the Apocalypto one. Embrace Your Geekiness put in a Schmobot. Thank you so much. Memo from MX. Hey, Raring. From me, one underrated is Practical Magic. It's special for family relationships. It's got a great cast. Nicole Kidman, Sandra Bullock, Diane Wiest, Stockard Channing, and a young Evan Rachel Wood.
Really enjoyed that one, yes.
I haven't seen it in years. You like that one?
Yeah, I remember. When I actually remember the plot.
then you know you're locked in. Philly G, underrated movies for me are The Hard Eight, Let It Ride, and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker is a classic. Ramon Fritz, since my first post went over so well over here. Here are some more underrated favorites. Trashing Copper, 7 Years in Paralysis, Wood for Sheep, Prime Directive, and Changing Season, and Chocolate in My Pants.
What was it? Wood for Sheep?
Since my first post went over so well, here are more of my favorite underrated. Trashing Cooper, which is a Western. Trashing Copper, which is a Western. 7 Years in Paralysis, which is a horror. Wood for Sheep, which is comedy. Prime Directive, sci-fi, and Changing Season, romance, and Chocolate in My Pants.
Wood for Sheep wins that one. You guys, if you haven't seen Wood for Sheep, you're really missing.
Give me the pitch on Wood for Sheep. You ready? Hold on, wait, not yet. Ready, and...
Wood for Sheep is just one of these films that hits you. It's funny. It's frightening. It's an overall beautiful film. You've seen it, right, Christian?
I have seen Wood for Sheep.
Oh,
I like
God.
the first one a little bit better than the second one, but still never got to laugh so hard halfway through the halfway part.
Didn't need to. Don't do a follow-up on this. This was a perfect film.
Yes.
I would say back in the day, 5 schmoes, 100%.
I'd give it 20.
20 schmoes? Oh, yeah.
Wood for Sheep. All right, let's say next.
You know what's always bugged me? Like Water for Chocolate, that name.
No, he's got had chocolate in his pants. Thank you, Ramon. Johnny Epp, another underrated film, Robin Hood Men in Tights by Mel Brooks. Has anyone seen the animated Hobbit, Return of the King, and Lord of the Rings films? The animated ones were great.
Yeah,
that's what I always knew Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit from, were those animated films. They're creepy too. Arcadio. And Robin Hood Men in Tights, by the way, another fun, underrated comedy for sure. Arcadio, good call to whoever who said Charlie Bartlett. It stars Kat Dennings, the late Anton Yelchin, and Robert Downey Jr. as an alcoholic father. I have seen this, by the way, Charlie Bartlett. Father principal the year before Iron Man came out. Really think you both like it. I've seen it, actually. I have seen Charlie Bartlett, and I like it. I did like it when I saw it. I haven't seen it in a long time. Prince That Wasn't Promised. Some more underrated movies. Toy Soldiers. Holy crap.
Oh.
Will Wheaton. Your buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toy Soldiers. Yes.
Small Soldiers, Paper Soldiers, Malibu Most Wanted, Double Dragon, Steel, Homeward Bound, Chappie, Blow, you're full of shit, Kung Pao, MacGruber, and more. I don't know if I believe any of that.
MacGruber is, when I was looking up lists of underrated, people listed that one a few times, MacGruber. If Dog Rabbit.
I don't know.
Real film or not?
Watership Down.
Watership Down.
Watership
the
Down?
most frightening. Do not show this film to children.
No, did you show that to your kids?
No. I'm just saying. I saw it and I was scarred for life, and I don't know why.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. PC put in a Schmobot. Dumb Child Me. Best movie and underrated because no one saw it is the United States of Leland with Ryan Gosling, Don Cheadle, Kevin Spacey, Michelle Williams, Manic with Joseph Levitt and Don Cheadle, and Brick is totally underrated. Oh my God. And Sphere. Love you, Brett. A lot of good movies in there. A lot of good movies in there. But Brick I think is underrated for sure. It's a good movie. Ryan Johnson. Knapsack's Ponytail, in all serious. The first Ant-Man is extremely underrated. I think it's the most rewatchable MCU movie. I do believe that is an underrated MCU movie. It did good. It didn't do the normal blockbuster kind of money that those movies do.
I've said it before, one of my favorites.
It's really good.
Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy, my 2 favorite.
I like it a lot.
I like it.
I like it a lot. Dumb Child.
Hey, boring.
Hey.
I feel like So I Married an Axe Murderer doesn't get enough love.
Head.
Yeah. It's going to hit like Sputnik.
Yeah. That was like the origin of Shrek.
Yeah.
Well, you see, like you can hear a lot of his voices coming out there. Like that's where Shrek kind of originated.
No, that was good. I guess I loved it at the time and was talking about it a lot at the time. So, but I guess now I don't think a lot of people
talk about it for sure. Okay, getting back on over here too. Thank you for that one. That's a good movie, Axe Murderer. Knapsack's Ponytail, who put that one in a big movies review, put in a Schmobot. Knapsack's Ponytail, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Too many people get caught up in the human plot where there's over an hour of incredible monster fights. Trick or Treat, amazing horror movies that isn't talked about by much of the general public. And Scott Pilgrim. Well, we mentioned Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Godzilla, for me, the problem is that it's like there's too much crap going on. It's like just cut all these idiots out of the movie and just let me see the monsters. Because the movie, and I know it's a lot of what the original movies were too, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it the same way. I just am so bored by this human stories that they come up with. They're not engaging, and I think they could be, especially with actors like they had with Kyle Chandler and Millie Bobby Brown. They have these great stories, and they just don't. They're great actors, and they don't do anything with them. So yeah, I don't know.
Trick or Treat, or is it the
Trick or
'86, or is it the Trick or Treat from 2008 with Anna Paquin? So
might
that's
be that
the
one.
question.
I don't know. Coco Cams. Putting this in for Thunder God in the chat. Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Yeah, that's a movie that doesn't get talked about enough. My buddy Jeff back in college loved that movie. So the two of them, they escaped from prison.
Yeah.
Roca's Senior Discount. Hey, SEN crew. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm told Brawl in Cell Block 99 is a great underrated movie with Vince Vaughn. I'm wondering if you've seen it. I started it, and I don't know what the hell happened. Life got in the way, and I didn't get a chance to finish it, but I've also heard really good things about that movie. I want to go back and revisit it. Trey Alexander Alexander. Hey, Rodrine. One of my favorite underrated movies is The Bear with Gary Busey as an Alabama football coach, Bear Bryant. As a longtime Bama fan, this is one close to heart for me, and I believe he's a Bama fan too, right? So no, I never got a chance to see that one. SB Stewart, thank you for the Schmobot about Axe Murderer. Love that one. Gingerbread, underrated films. This is where I leave you. Predestination, Kill Your Darlings, Trick or Treat, Ruby Sparks.
I think they're talking about It's just R, and it's the one that's got a really creepy kind of kid that looks like the Scarecrow. From Batman.
Will we ever see Brett actually drunk on this show? You'll probably see him drunk on these Kate videos.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah, the Kate videos,
especially
for
if the wife home, I could maybe pull that one off. But no, driving home drunk is not.
It's hard to do it here, especially now. I'm not
going to get an Uber.
yeah, that's what I mean. So you can't Uber. So again, I encourage everybody, if you can, join today at the Patreon for SEN Live and help. You're going to develop their show together with them, and if you look, maybe you can tell Brett on the next thing you wanted the two of them to get shit-faced together. I bet you that they'll do that for you.
Twist my arm.
Twist your arm. David B., the great David B. Some of my underrated: 1408, Letters to Iwo Jima, Tears of the Sun, Martian Child, The Day After Tomorrow. Interesting. The Green Mile, Nacho Libre, Napoleon Dynamite, Hell or High Water. I'm with you on that one. Blazing Saddles, Pandorum, and the modern Planet of the Apes trilogies. Those are good ones. And again, thanks to David B., who put together the wonderful, most of the music on this thing, but this beautiful. All right, everybody, where are we right now? We're at 640. 640 was stopped at 640 with 700.
How did we do that?
Let's get back on up here. Anybody get us over to 655. That's what we're going for. Everybody hit 655. Can you get to 655, ladies and gentlemen? I'm at 641. 641. Jump from 640, 640, 640. Going to trying to get to 655.
I think they're fucking with us now.
644. 644. Jump to 644. Looking to 700. 647. Looking to 650. Going to 650. Can we get to 650? I like to put pink bows in my hair. 647, 647, 647. What are we at now? 647, 647, 647, 647, 647. Where are we at now? We're at 649. One more, and we're going to stop this bit. 652.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
There we go. Perfect.
I knew you were going to do it. It's that transition from a bit to the
Knapsack's ponytail. The Land Before Time, Ducky's Revenge,
God.
All Dogs Go to Heaven. These are good ones.
What's breaking my heart?
Land
Before Time.
Joey Gonzalez, underrated Japanese movie called 5 When Hard, 2 When Soft. Main actor's name is Hung Solo. Thank you. Haskell 420, Quick Change, Bill Murray, Gina Davis, Randy Quaid. That is an underrated one. Those three worked very well together. Bam 86. Stay Tuned stars John Ritter and Jeffrey Jones, who plays the devil who traps people in hell version of TV. I remember this movie. And Ritter and his wife have to try to escape. I totally remember Stay Tuned. Yes.
Oh,
Do you remember that movie?
Think so. Yes.
Holy shit. I forgot all about that movie. Stay Tuned. What a great callback. I haven't, dude. I promise you, out of all the movies that were brought up here today, I am going to be searching on YouTube.
Oh,
for Stay
yes.
Tuned. You remember Stay Tuned?
Yes. That. Oh God.
That's essentially what they did with Click afterwards.
Yeah.
But Stay Tuned did it differently, and I think better. Justin Petrie with a very accurate statement. American History X is very underrated. I agree. I think it is a very powerful, strong film, and a great performance by Edward Norton. And Edward Furlong, by the way. Emilio Benavides. Stake Land was a decent indie vampire movie. Never saw that one.
Stake Land?
Stake Land, yeah. Not steak as in I'm going to eat steak. Like steak, vampire steak. Bam 86. Stay Tuned and Mom and Dad Save the World have always been super underrated movies.
I looked up Mom and Dad Save the World, and that one was... go ahead, keep going.
No, that's it. So, we had a good one.
I had a couple that I thought of as we were going along.
Yeah.
We mentioned Kids, Gummo.
I don't know.
No, you never saw Gummo?
I don't think so.
God, it is weird.
Can you guys?
Man.
I'm gonna look into the regular chat here for a second. I want to ask questions to you guys. What would you like to do on Monday? We did best movies. We did best movies of all time. We did not best movies of all time. Favorite movies of all time. We did underrated movies. Some people had suggested guilty movie pleasures. What do you guys?
What is that exactly? Explain that.
Guilty movie pleasures? It's like something that's considered piss, but you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a harder
like
one
Daddy's
to do.
Home.
Yeah. Daddy's Home is like, you know it's bad.
Yeah.
You know it's bad, but you just enjoy watching it.
I do enjoy that
So
one.
some people say overrated movies. Some people are saying overrated movies.
Overrated.
Yeah, overrated. That's a harder one to do, but it's good. Yeah, they like the guilty movies. So we can do some more. What is Tom Marlin StreamYards? What about it? I don't understand.
Tom Marlin, StreamYards.
Tom Marlin says StreamYards.
My buddy Brent says Suicide Kings, Let's Go to Prison, and Beautiful Girls.
Yeah. Ben Goddard likes, maybe I'll have Ben on Monday. Come up with a list. We'll do guilty movie pleasures. So let's do that, guys. Let's do guilty movie pleasures maybe on Monday, depending on, unless there's like some big.
Oh, there's going to be some big news.
You think some big news? Probably not. TV shows
what's going to be pushed?
I know. That's pretty much what it is. What's going to be pushed? That's about it. I think that's everything here today, guys. So much going on that I wanted to once again just make sure everybody is aware of before we get out of here. We have a lot. If you're a Schmoedown fan, get on that Patreon tier now. The $10 patrons, we're going to make sure everybody's got exactly what you've been missing. We're going to give you exhibition matches up the yin-yang. We're doing this championship match between Damon, Merle, Roca, and Smets. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's a Jurassic Park one. There's a movie release dates, new releases, romantic comedies. There's so many big matches that are coming up, and they'll be exclusive to you guys over on Patreon. Same thing for SEN Live Patreon. Brett and Kate are going to have their own show today where they're developing their bigger show later on down the line. So do it. Do all that stuff.
Come on by.
Yeah, this was a fun show today. I agree. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for John Roca. Thank you to Brett Sheridan. Talk to you guys probably sooner than later. Peace out. Mother